A very good afternoon to the Kobe Universiade Memorial Stadium for the Paralympics World Championships in 2024. It's day 6. It is session number 12 of 18. We are 2/3 of the way through these quite magnificent championships this year in Kobe, following on from Paris last year, and we'll also have another championships next year. Venue yet to be determined, but somewhere no doubt very, very good. The organisation of this one has been nothing short of sensational. Everything has been running like clockwork. It's a bit cooler this afternoon than it was in the morning. Jumpers might be the order of the day as we move into this evening session. The hats were the order of the day earlier, and the sun cream. It was warm, it was enjoyable, and we had 7 gold medals in that morning session. Finishing off with a quite wonderful shot put event in the men's F46. And as we head out in the evening session is the women's shot put F32 that we get underway. Anastasia Moskalenko, the championship record holder, is not here. But we have a high class field that includes the silver medalist from last year, Brito Oliveira of Brazil. Loads to look forward to on the track as well. Women's 100 metres T54 final. Men's 400 metres T47. Men's long jump T64. Very much looking forward to that later on. The T64 long jump with Marcus Rame, the World and Paralympic champion, going in that. And at the bottom of the program there, the women's 1500 metres T20 intellectual impairment category. We will have a magnificent athlete who over the years has won everything. Barbara Biegnovska Zajac, formerly Noviciel, but she will be running this evening under those lights when they eventually go on. Up in the hill there, and the wind is not really blowing too much at all. Much better than it has been for some of the days. It says 10 kilometres an hour. At the moment, it's barely a breath. 20 degrees the temperature today. Bit of cloud cover at the moment. Actually, very nice conditions for the athletes who are going to be out there, whether it be on the track or whether it be in the field. Just reading up on the match day notes there. The good part about this stadium is there are some wonderful wheelchair access areas. There's food to be eaten, stories to be told. And many to watch on. I'm Tolson Tollett. Will Downing is with me. Steph Reid, the former world champion and European champion, alongside me. And Steph, what are you looking forward to most of in this evening session?
I'm pretty sure it's no surprise. I'm looking forward to the men's T64 long jump final. As you said, we have Marcus Rame going in it, and every time he jumps, what you will see is a scrum of photographers at the end of that pit, which I sometimes get worried about, because if he ever does a run through, he is going to take out a bunch of them. But that is just because any time Rame jumps, it could be a world record, and they all want to be the one who captures it.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen him jump before. I remember Will and I were in Berlin back in 2018 when he was at home. I honestly thought he was about to jump out of the pit.
Yeah,
I honestly thought in East Berlin there he was about to end up in West Berlin.
Very short pit, yeah.
It was incredible, and I actually thought he may injure himself at one point. Thankfully, he didn't. It was a world record on that occasion. So we may well see something of a similar ilk this evening. But you are right, you do worry about the edge of the pit and whether he's going to run through it or... But it's unless you see Marcus Rame live, it's really difficult to explain the sort of feeling that goes through when you see him run down that track on those blades.
Because the fact is, there are very few people on this planet who can jump longer than him, full stop.
Yeah, it's quite incredible. And if you ever get a chance to see Marcus Rame live in the flesh competing, it is not something you will be disappointed about. I can guarantee you right away. So we saw the women's shot put F32 final getting ready a moment or two ago. That there, men's club throw F51. which will be heading out as well. A couple of seated events to get us underway in the evening. We'll also have that women's shot put F46. Holly Robinson, the Paralympic javelin champion, who goes in that, the New Zealander. And we'll also have the men's long jump T64 we've spoken about. Lots to look forward to on the track. 4 in the field, but a load of finals. 6 gold medals on the track this evening. We'll get underway with that women's 100 metres T53. Then I'll have the T54 variant, but it is a night of the shorter action, finishing with the longer when we get to that women's 1500 metres. And it is going to be a treat for those youngsters in here watching. Hasn't it been great watching the school children come in for those morning sessions? It's been absolutely wonderful just seeing them be involved. Silver medalist from last year in the club throw, that was Ramos Hernandez. Looked pretty cool, calm and collected, didn't he? Zelko Dimitrovic in the foreground there from Serbia. He's been around for a long, long time. He gold medalist back in 15, 17, 19. Dimitrovic, loads of experience for him. And it is going to be a slightly slower start to this evening session because we have these seated events, and it means that the throwers all go at the same time. They take their 6 throws before the next athlete is then strapped into place, and then you have to take them apart and move in, and it's all very complicated in a way, but at the same time, it's quite simplistic.
You can see there the women lining up to be introduced to the crowd for the start of this shot put. And this will be the throwing order. Now, just like on the track, athletes are seated according to their time, with the fastest athletes taking the middle lanes. In the throwing event, we tend to see the big throwers coming at the end of the competition. So we will be introducing them in reverse order.
Funny you should mention that, because we saw Brito Oliveira, who's already won gold here in the club throw. There she is on the left, who will now go in the shot put as well, and she's also a
representing Brazil,
Pan American Games gold medalist from last year. She took silver last year in this event.
Representing NPA,
Evgenia Galaktinova, gold medalist from back in 2021.
United Arab Emirates.
And throwing 8th in the order. Second in the shot put in Rio, we have Noor Al-Khattabi of the United Arab Emirates. Maira Ibrahimi of Tunisia, former world champion back in 2017. Thekra Al-Kabi of the United Arab Emirates. We've already seen her in action, 8th in the club throw. We've also seen this lady in action, Sarah Clifton Bly of Australia. We saw her in the 100 meters yesterday. She'll be doing the 800, quite a distance for a thrower. Saida Nali of Tunisia, 2-time Paralympian.
Representing Algeria.
From Algeria, Mounia Ghazmi, 2-time silver medalist at the World Championships.
Brazil,
Already picking up a bronze medal in the club throw. We have Boscolo Castillo of Brazil. And kicking us off from Latvia, Baiba Rabaha. She's already been on the track as well. Many of the women doubling up in the club throw, which took place earlier in the week. I have to say, the throws this morning were quite exciting, both on the field of play and in the warm-up.
We've been quite lucky, haven't we? Every evening session and this morning, the morning session, we've had some great field events that have finished off the session. We've had all the way down to the very end to decide whether it be gold or silver or bronze for those particular athletes in any order.
Yeah, and you did say the throws tend to get off to a slow start we don't mean that they're not exciting to watch. It's just because each athlete, particularly in the seated throws, has to throw in turn. However, in the ambulance shot put, you're right, they all go one after another, and that came down to an absolute nail-biter in that final round, places chopping and changing. And that's how it goes in the field events. You have to stay with it. You have to watch the story the whole way through. Now, the reason Rabaha was introduced in her chair is because she was busy getting warmed up while the other athletes are tucking in under the tents, waiting their turn. We have 10 women going, and it can take about 15 to 20 minutes for each athlete to complete that process of getting into the chair, completing their 6 throws, getting out of the chair, and then bringing the next athlete in, which is why, for practicalities, each athlete takes all 6 throws at once.
Yeah, it's not unusual, as Tom Jones said, to see the seated event start in the evening and also finish in the evening. So it does happen. There's only 10 in this one, though. So generally when there's maybe 12, 14 in the seated event, it might start the evening session or morning session, whichever it may be, and then it'll still be going at the end just because of the length of time it takes to get the athlete out, put the new athlete in, practice throws before you actually get going. Men's club throw F51 final. We saw Zelko Dimitrijevic in the foreground of a shot a moment or two ago. He has some experience. But he's not the reigning champion. There he is on the second from right there. Good field going in this. India again represented. There's 2 from India going in this throwing competition. Haven't they been a revelation, especially in the field, as we know normally, but also on the track? Now, perhaps that may have surprised a few people, but I've no doubt that the Indian Paralympic Association have certainly been pushing towards their track athletes to, I wouldn't say medal more on the track, but come up with maybe better performances when it comes to the fact of lifting themselves higher up that medal table with track as well as the field athletes. Now, the field athletes have always been sensational. We've associated India with javelin, but this high jump last night we saw. We've seen long jump. We've seen shot put. Discus. It's been wonderful to see such a variety of athletes going across different sides of the sport. So we're just about ready to get underway with this. The men's club throw F51.
Representing India,
India's Pranav Surma, who is the Asian Para Games champion. He won gold in the Serbia Open last year as well.
Representing Serbia,
He has 3 European Championship medals, this man. Also has 3 gold medals and 2 Paralympic titles. Zelko Dimitrijevic. Harib, competing as a neutral, he was 6th
representing
in Tokyo 2020. Ramos Hernandez, who took the silver last year. He's a confident character, is the Mexican.
Representing Serbia,
Filip Grauvic, who is the reigning champion from last year in Paris.
representing India,
Silver at the Asian Para Games. Congratulations from Narendra Modri as well for that man.
representing Czechia,
Darren Beer. Michael Enge, major championship debut back in 2017. Mimas Omehodzic of Croatia. Lifetime best set this year of 30.58.
representing Saudi Arabia.
And last but not least, out there in the chair, ready to go, Radi Al-Hathi of Saudi Arabia. He'll go first. So if you just joined us, as we were saying a moment or two ago, in the first of the seated categories out tonight, the women's shot put, F32 in the men's club throw, exactly the same. All 6 throws will be taken. That man can't wait to get out there. Ramos Hernandez looking to improve on that silver from last year. Athletes take 3 throws. They then have a quick rest for a minute or so, readjust, and then off they go again. So we should be ready to get underway because our Harthy would have been out there doing his practice throwing, and this is his opener. Just shy of that 25-metre mark, you can see there. His lifetime best set this year of 25.50 for the man from Saudi Arabia.
One of the great things about the club throw is just the variety of ways in which you can throw the club. You can throw it forward, you can throw it sitting backwards. Lots of variety in terms of how you actually hold onto the club and release it, which is great. It just means that as many athletes can be involved as possible, and each athlete is free to adapt their style to suit them.
I've been thinking about this too. I'll let you know in a moment. And that's around the same area, maybe a little bit less there for our Harthy. I reckon if I did this, that I would face away and do it back over my head.
And what's your strategy there?
My strategy is to not hit myself in the face.
That's a good strategy.
I just think of it from shoulders and individual shoulder strength and how they feel, and whether I'd be more comfortable doing it that way than doing it that way, if you know what I mean. As I'm looking at you, this is not going to work really when I'm talking over pictures on TV, is it? But I'd be sitting basically opposite with my back to where I'm throwing it and over my head.
Actually, we'll probably get one of the athletes demonstrating the technique that you're talking about.
I think I'd feel more comfortable with that. So that's number 3, 22.60 for his second now. Harthy, you get a little bit of a short break now and just reassess and go again. Except just also, there are laws here as far as with the chair, because we've seen athletes being given a yellow card for non-compliance of equipment. So they have to have, the chair has to be a certain height, and when you're strapped down, everything's got to be legally correct, doesn't it?
Yes, so before the athletes even come out onto the track, they have all been checked into the call room, and within the call room, the technical officials then have the big job of going through all of the chairs and making sure that they are all within regulations. So, for example, throwing chairs cannot be more than 75 centimeters in height. And actually looking at the women's shot put F50, F32, which is going on at the other end of the field, we actually have 2 yellow cards listed beside 2 athletes that have been carried over from the club throw, which means that an athlete has shown up with equipment that is non-compliant. Now, in that instance, athletes are given the opportunity to rectify the situation. If they can do so quickly, then they can still compete.
And if they can't, they get another yellow card, and surely does that become a red card?
If they can't fix it within the time, then unfortunately they are out of the competition. But all the athletes know it is their responsibility to ensure equipment is ready to go when they come to that call room. It sounds harsh, but these things have to run on time, and it's out of respect and fairness for the other athletes.
Absolutely. Well, Harthy is ready to go again. He had a little drink and got himself back, and the official was having a chat with him, and I think everyone's happy. Away we go. Round 2, if you like. Second lot of 3. So we'll get to 6 eventually. And he's quite consistent. He's out there around the same mark every time. Just go back to that season best he set this year, which is a lifetime best as well, 25.5 meters. There is actually a slight breeze into his face down there. I'm just looking at the windsock, which is just to the edge of the quadrant. You can just see it on the right of screen there, and it is slightly into the Saudi Arabian's face, so a bit higher up in the air. It might be a little bit stronger. So it's a bit of a luck of the draw thing sometimes when you go, whether the breeze is into your face, whether it might be slightly behind you, and that is much better. I think that might be his best so far. 23.61 with his opener. I think that might be up there towards the 24-meter mark. Hasn't got over the 25-meter barrier just yet, but he will have one more to go.
Speaking of weather and luck of the draw, it does feel like it could get quite chilly tonight. And just thinking about it, some of the athletes are going to be waiting around for 1.5 to 2 hours, and it will get progressively cooler.
Yeah. Do you know what? It actually almost feels like there's a bit of rain in there. I don't think it is going to, but you look around and it does look and feel like there is a bit of rain in the air. That won't be an improvement. It was 23.67, by the way, for his fifth, so it was an improvement of 6 centimetres on his best, which was the first throw. So throw number 5 will be the best of 23.67 for that man, Radi Al-Hathi of Saudi Arabia. 22.48 for that final throw, so yep, no improvement. And for the time being, he sits at the top of the pile because he is the only person who has gone. Will Downing is with us as well. Let's bring him in and have a chat with him. How are you this evening?
Good evening, Tossin. How are you getting on?
Absolutely fantastic.
Hey, it's really overcast here tonight. It definitely doesn't feel 20 as it was earlier. Women's 100 metres T53 will start the evening. The men's will finish it. And this is the final. And a great field in this, and it's one of these situations where we have a champion who's been around for an immense amount of time. It's like walking through a hotel and stopping, looking at a picture from 1910 and seeing Jack Nicholson in it. Because Zhao Zhan in lane 4 here, it's her 8th World Championship. She won the silver in the 100 in 2006. Nice achievement. 6th in that was Angie Ballard. 4th was Tanni Gray-Thompson. That was 18 years ago. There's only 3 World Championships in history she didn't compete in. And that's because she was under the age of 15. Amity Legangun, former world champion, former European champion. Zhao Zhan, there she is in lane 4, the 8-time world champion and still reigning Asian Games champion today. And the 800 champion this week. "13 global golds she's won in her career. She has medalled at every single championship she's appeared at. Bronze last year in the 4. She's got an immense CV. You know the amount of time you're given lane by lane. We don't have time to cram even a 10th of it in. Jessica Cooper-Lewis as well. But before that, in lane 3 for Colombia, championship debut for Gracie Pineda. In lane 4 for China, 13 global golds. This week's 800 meters world champion, Zhao Hongjuan. In lane 5 for Turkey, the former relay world champion, the 4-time European champion, Hamideh Dogangwon. In lane 6 for China, the 2019 world champion, the reigning Paralympic champion, Gao Fang. In lane 7 for Bermuda, the reigning Pan Am champion, 3 times in a row, Jessica Cooper-Lewis. And in lane 8 for Turkey, European silver and bronze medalists, 4 of those in total, Zeynep Asset.
100 meter T53.
So everybody's won a medal apart from Gracie Pineda, for the very good reason that it's her championship debut. The gold last year won by Sammy Kinghorn. The silver, Catherine de Bruyne. Pineda in 3, Zhao 4, Dogangwon 5, Gao 6, Lewis 7, Asad 8. The women's 100 meters T53.
Set.
So away first time. Good start, Dogangwon. And Lewis going well here for Bermuda. And Gao Fang here now for China in 6. Gao Fang moving away up. Zhu in 2nd, Dogangwon in 3rd. Between the 2 Chinese, trying to break it up. And it's going to be Zhao. She's done it. Her first medal in 2006 in Assen in the Netherlands. And now, for an 8th consecutive World Championships, she picks up another gold. Gao in 2nd, Dogangwon in 3rd. 16.88. She holds the championship record too, does Gao, but beaten this time by 300. Lewis in 4th. And it's a China 1-2. Zhao Hongshuan beating out Gao Fang, and Teganwan just tried to split them. Just couldn't do. Very good finish here. Teganwan in the middle for Turkey. And it looked for a moment as if Gao Fang might nick it, but Zhao holding on. And 18 years after her big debut as a 17-year-old, she's won her second gold of the week.
One of the interesting things when you watch the 100 meters is the way that the athletes have to go through the gears. And I'm saying gears intentionally. If anyone has ridden a bike and you know that you want to use a different gear if you're going up a hill versus on a flat, the thing with the wheelchair races is they don't have that option. They have to change how they're interacting with their wheels and their hand speed. And what you see there was 3 women at the end basically duking it out and seeing who can get to their top end speed faster. With these wheelchair racers, they typically will hit that top end speed possibly a little bit past that 100-meter line, and so it is just a case of carrying on that acceleration. And Do Gangan was so close to coming on top in terms of China's been so dominant in the sprints for so long.
There was a moment when you would have thought that Hamade Teganwan was just going to nick it. There was only 700s between the top 3. But Zhao Hongshuan does it again. She's only, by the way, 35. She can be mopping medals up in another 20 years. Well, 15 anyway. Zhao with the gold, Gao the silver, and Hamade Teganwan the bronze. Jessica Cooper-Lewis in 4th for Bermuda. China 1 and 2, and Turkey with the bronze. Then Bassett in 5th, Gracie Pineda in 6th, Arno Mull, Hamade Teganwan's coach now. As we go back to the F-32 shot put, and all the throws be taken at once.
Roar Bahat finished her 6 attempts with a best of 3:28. Giovanna Boscola Castillo has already surpassed that with her first attempt. And on her 4th attempt, she put it out to 5:03. Now she's a personal best of 5:19, already taken a bronze in the club throw. Some of the athletes will use a horizontal bar like you see her grabbing onto. That's just to help them maintain their balance. Now, the difference between an F-32 class and an F-50. F-32 is for balance and coordination impairments. Well, in the 50s, it tends to be paralysis or a limb impairment. And that's why the classes are separated out. And she finishes with a lifetime best on her 6th and final throw. You can hear the cheers in the background. 5:44, she is into the lead. Her work is done for the evening. And she will have to wait now to see how that mark holds up. Still early in this competition, we have 8 other athletes waiting to take their throws.
Women's 100 metres T54 final now. Amanda Kataya, the reigning champion and championship record holder, not here. World record, Tatiana McFadden, remember her? There are 8 set to go in this, and all 8 do line up. 2 from Mauritius going as well, Perrine and Alphonse. Alphonse with the silver in this last year in Paris. There she is, next to Zhu Zhaikwan, who was 4th last year, just missing out. So the silver medalist from last year and the lady who finished 4th next door to each other. Tian Yawan will go in this one. Already has a championship record over the gold in the 5,000 metres, silver in the 1,500 and bronze in the 800. It is a high-class field all the way through. We might be missing some who aren't here at these championships, but it is a very good field nonetheless. And if it's as close as the T53 final we just saw a few minutes ago, then it will be some race. They're all ready to go. Arlene Dos Santos Roca, you can see there. Japanese interest as well. They'll be cheering on. And we are just about ready to get underway.
T54 final. In lane 2, representing Brazil, Dos Santos Rocha Ali.
Arlene Dos Santos Roca of Brazil. Third in the 5,000 metres, didn't get a medal for that because there's only one medal going. Sixth in the 800. Muroka Momoka, 7th in this event last year. She was 4th, just missing out in the medal here in the 800 metres. And the championship record holder in the 5,000 now, and gold medalist. Silver in the 1,500, bronze in the 800. Tian Yawan. Licia Musinelli of Switzerland, 23 years of age. Competing amongst some high-profile athletes. Lifetime best of 16:67. Silver last year, 5th in the 800, Naomi Alphonse of Mauritius. Next to her in lane 7, it'll be Zhu Quan. 4th last year in Paris. Already a silver medalist here in the 800. Alexander Helbling of Switzerland will go in lane 8. European champion bronze in both 2016 and 18. And on the outside lane, the second of the Mauritians. It'll be Perrine, who went through as one of the fastest lucky losers. She'll go in lane 9.
Starts now.
So Dos Santos Roca in 2, Muroka in 3, Tian in 4, Musinelli in 5, Alphonse in 6, Zhu in 7, Helbling in 8, Perrine in 9.
Set.
And they get away, and it was out there for in Naomi Alphonse, who got away quickest of all, and next to her it is Zhu Quan on the outside. It's a race in 2 at the moment between Alphonse and Zhu. Alphonse has it, she got silver last year, she's taken gold this year, and then inside of her, it looks like Musinelli, who's picked up the bronze medal, but Naomi Alphonse, well, she was there at the pre-championships press conference. She was in confident mood, 16:23. Zhu a season best, 16:34. Musinelli, 16:92 for the 23-year-old. Picking up a championship major bronze medal. But it's all about Naomi Alphonse. She's finished in the gold medal position, improving on last year. What about that young lady there? Bronze medal for the first time in the major championships for her. But it was all about Alphonse's start and then Zhu trying to catch her.
Well, Zhu actually had a fantastic start as well. And the thing with Naomi Alphonse, she didn't panic. Again, Zhu, she could probably feel her coming back again. Alphonse still didn't panic. She trusted her top end speed, and what a way to win your first world championship medal.
Yeah, we had a chat with her, didn't we, last year after the racing in Paris, and she's a down-to-earth individual. Was happy with how things went and said she'll be back this year, and how she has been. She can't believe it. She picks up a gold medal and improves on that silver from last year. Zhu pushed her all the way to the end, and well, I know we're talking about Marcel Hug, the Swiss silver bullet, but there's a new star in the women's 100 T54, Licia Musinelli of Switzerland.
Oh, she's going up. She's going.
I think that's who they're looking for. Anyway, here's the results. Naomi Alphonse, 16:23 the gold. Zhu, season best, takes the silver. And Licia Musinelli of Switzerland, the bronze medal. Zhu improving on that 4th place from last year, up to silver.
Her country's first ever gold at a World Paralympics Championships ever. F51 is continuing on in this men's club throw. Let's see if we get a little bit of history here as well. Obviously all the throws coming at once in this. F51, the most restrictive of the wheelchair competitors, essentially, in the 50s. Little or no movement, legs and torso. Menes Omohodzic of Croatia. Second to go, Radi Al-Hati, already there, 22:48. He's flung that out between the two markers. That's around 27.5. He's a 30-meter man. And of the 9 in it, he's ranked 8th in terms of lifetime best, which came this year. He's a bit higher in terms of season's best. He's 6th in that. It's all about the day. What's achievable in this. By the way, India, having won 5 golds, have got 2 in this. Durambir and Pranav Surma. And I know the goals already. We're on live TV there. As well as that, they've made news TV. Saw some footage of the news coverage of the high jump win last night, including the first ever track gold in their history. And actually it could very easily happen, another couple of gold, and they will have matched in this single games their all-time gold tally leading into these games, going back to the first one in 1994. So Menes Omohodzic, he's 33, and they'll start measuring now. His first World Championships. His championship debut, full stop. 27.85, and that overtakes Al-Hati, who has no right to reply. All the throws coming simultaneously. $27.85 is solid enough foundation. He has gone further than this year by 3 meters. So he's aiming for that 30-meter line. That's the furthest line that you're going to see in a moment. And he's just inside the main line, actually, just inside the quadrant. Just approaching 5:30 in Kobe, and what feels like the coldest day yet. The sun hasn't set yet either. No improvement, or as close to it. 27.72. He's had a good bit of publicity in Croatia ahead of these games as well, which is always gratifying to see, and quite a few of the newspapers there.
A few of the athletes have said that's actually one of the best things about having 2 huge competitions, global competitions, back-to-back. You have the World Championships, and then you have the Paralympic Games. It just means that parasport is getting in the news.
Omohodzic is out. That was a red flag. You saw the previous one skirt just inside, but that was the far side of the line. Only slightly, it just touched the line and bounced on the other side. So he's reached halfway, so he can have a bit of sustenance if he wants. And he's with his guide, and he's going to get a bit of that. Oh yeah, a bit of grease. Try and get things Get a proper grip on that. So longest thrower in the field this year, he'll be right at the end. It's Pranav Surma of India. And the largest lifetime best is Željko Dimitrijević of Serbia, who we've seen a lot of down through the years.
Sehr gut, Junge.
So he's got 3 more throws to go. 30 meters in the Grand Prix circuit this year. From the Upson Parathletic Club. He's 3 club mates of his from Gorica who are here for the first time.
Now, are they club mates as in club throwers or club mates as in athletics club teammates?
He's the club mate, and actually, tell you what, mate, his club ended up in the rigging there, so that's another foul. That's not where he wanted it to go. Well, it happens. He knows that. So he's got 2 more to go. Coaches, by the way, Ivan Cengic, Mehojvil Rendelic, the assistant, Ana Zokic. They have all come from the same club because obviously, I guess, they're experts in it. A couple of expert names in this. T13. Men's 400 meters, and the Paralympic champion is in this in lane 5. Skander Atmani, the world record holder who set that mark at the Olympic Stadium in Tokyo 3 years ago. Had silver in the 1, gold in the 4. And the 100 meters world champion now for the first time. The outright Algerian 100 meters record holder for 2017, 10:29. We've seen a lot of Max Mazilia this year, by the way, at these games.
Men's 400 meter T13, round 1, heat 1.
So we've seen his brother Ken already. This is the Southeast Asian Games bronze medalist in the 100 and the 200 for Laos. Poonpet Teptida in lane 8 for Botswana. Championship debut for Bose Makwate in lane 7 for Germany from the BP RSV club in Coppers. 22 years old, 8th in the 100 meters final here for Max Mazilia. In lane 6 for Colombia, the Pan Am 400 meters champion is Bunda Bermudez. Bronze in the 400 in the Worlds last year. In lane 5 for Algeria, the Paralympic champion, Skander Atmati, and the new world 100 meters champ. In lane 4, he's neutral, he's 17, he's a debutant. He's Dmitry Kazkovic. And in lane 3, we don't have Nicolo Peroso, but hello anyway. He's in the 1. And in DNS, I'm afraid to say, in the 4. It's the top 3. And the next 2 fastest who will progress. Skander Atmani, semi-finalist in the 2017 Universiade. The 1985 edition was held in this stadium, and bronze in the 4x1 in the African Athletics Championships in 2014. Peroso, Kakovic, Atmani, Bermudez, Mazilia, Makwati, Teptida.
Please stand up, please.
It's T13, it's the category of least visual impairment, so up to 20%, but as low as 6%. A slight stoppage for the moment. Well, Nicola Feist is the press attaché for the German team here, as Mother Sabina's been watching all week in Gegenbach, so guten Morgen.
They'll restart.
Brother actually plays for the Freiburg under-19 football team, and they've been in the cup final against Hoffenheim. Result not yet in. Same as this. So Mani, with his results, ought not be a problem for him, but we will see. Now only 6 in this, the top 3 to go through, and the next 2 across the top 2 heats. Kaskovic 4, Mani 5, Bermudez 6, Brasilia 7, Maguati 8, Taptida in 9. So away they go. Nice start at Mani in 5, and he is away for Algeria. He's just about caught up in the sky of the stagger with Bunda Bermudez, the bronze medalist in the 4 of the Worlds last year, where Mani did not compete. He was due to, he didn't start his race, but Mani looks in good control at the moment. Maguati's going really well as well for Botswana. Mani, Bermudez, Maguati, and also Matsilia in 4th place for Germany. They'll straighten up. And it's Skander Mani who's well in control. Just edged past to claim the 100 meters title. There's no edging past here. Mani's going to win by a good bit. 46.70 is world record. 47.57 here, he takes it. And Matsilia came up in 2nd, and Bermudez was 3rd. Max Matsilia is into the final, the man from Cottbus. What a result for him. He finished 5th in the 400 final last year. He was in the 100 final here where he finished 8th, but Skander Mani was in a class of his own.
Mani has already delivered one of the upsets of these championships, and I was so excited to see how that speed is going to translate to the 400. Now, I don't think we saw him quite at his best here. He didn't need to be. And it's always interesting to see how that 100-meter speed translates, because there's a question of whether or not he's going to have the endurance. But the thing is, when you have speed like that, your version of running at 80% is that much faster than everyone else's. So you can train for a 400 meters in 2 ways. You can do overspeed, or you can really work on that 200 meters and make it feel easier.
That was a really impressive finish by Matsilia as well, who skipped in. Maguati is going to have to wait in 4th spot. Maybe he'll be okay in terms of fastest loser spots. Next fastest.
Just a quick one as well. You were mentioning about that Freiburg game against Hoffenheim. It's on Saturday, coming up. Under 19s.
Well, it's still 0-0 and will be for another few days. Best of luck to both sides.
And thank you to Sabine for watching on as well. The mother of Gianluca and Nicholas.
Viel Glück. It's
German delight then in the 400 in the heat.
So Omer Hodzic here has really improved in his final couple of throws. 29.98 with his 5th attempt, going out towards the 30-meter line. It's difficult to see him pushing up towards the medals, but well, you never know, conditions may worsen. 29.25 to wrap up. That's not bad, actually, for Minez Omer Hodzic. As we move on.
Yeah, it's the second heat. Men's 400 metres T13. So this one here has the reigning champion from Japan, who's running out in lane 4, Fukunaga Ryota. There he is. Gold medalist last year. And he'll no doubt get plenty of support from this home crowd. The Paralympic champion Athmani going through in the first heat. So can the reigning world champion make it through to the final as well. A field of 6. Just the one from Japan going in this. We've had many heats and races where there's been 2 or 3. A lot of athletes from the home nation. And I guess when you are the home nation, and you know this from experience as well, the pressure does ramp up because more is expected.
The pressure ramps up, but it also makes it that much more fun. And Japan has sent one of the biggest teams. I think it was 66. And to put into context, the USA has sent a team of 30. So that tells you just how committed these Japanese athletes are to thrilling the home crowd. But it's going to be a tall order for him to defend that world crown.
Well, he'll do his best. Mogwati and Kaskovic are the 2 in the hot seat, as you can see, 50.95 and 51.68 are those current marks at the moment. So the lucky losers who go through in this one are going to have to be better than that when they finish. Just about ready to go.
In lane 9, representing Singapore, I'm James Ethan Kaime.
So the man who turns 23 on Sunday from Singapore, and James Ethan Kaime, lifetime best of 51.53 for him. Abdulatif Baka, Paralympic gold over 800 and 1500 metres. The champion looking ahead to those this year. Johannes Nambala, he was 6th in the 100 metres. He won gold in this back in Dubai in 2019. Edwin Masuge of Botswana, 8th at the back of the field in this one last year in Paris.
In lane 5, representing Spain,
Ivan Hernandez of Spain, he was 6th back in Paris in 2023.
In lane 4, representing Japan,
And in lane 4, Fukunaga Ryota, being supported extremely well, as you'd expect.
Round 1.
He will go in lane 4.
Now.
So you'll have a view of everyone as he goes around that opening bend of the 400 metres men's T13, the least of the visual impairment categories. First 3 automatically qualifying, and then we'll have the next 2 fastest to go through to the final. 50.95 and 51.68 are the 2 times from the opening heat for those who finish outside the top 3. So they're just about ready to go.
Set.
And away they get. No issues this time with the starter, so they've rounded the first bend, and moving up already is Fukunaga on the inside shoulder of Hernandez. Oviedo, he's gone past him. He's then gone past Edwin Masuge. It is just the top 3 that automatically go through. And the Japanese athlete Fukunaga Ryota is looking very strong at the moment. He's got around 150 to go, and he's leading as they head into the home straight. He can probably shut it down a little bit earlier here because he's about 15 or so metres in front. There is a massive race on for those next 2 positions. Edwin Masuge is really putting the big ones in, but he's being challenged there out wide in lane 7 by Nambala, who takes it. And Masuge picks up that 3rd place, but it is all about that man there. 48.88 is the time. Season best for Fukunaga. Nambala, a season best for him, coming through in 2nd, and a 2nd African runner who will go through to the final there out of this heat. Edwin Masuge with a season best for him.
We've been seeing lots of 400 meters being run recently. And it's always interesting to see how the different athletes pace it. And in this case, Fukunaga really put the work in on that back straight. He got to that 200-meter mark with about a second on the field. And when you do that, it's not that you get to shut down, but you've kind of earned the right now just to cruise around. And cruise he did. Sometimes you want to actually just see them breathing hard at the end, just so we know they're a little bit human. But he's going to have a final to come, and that's what you want to do. You want to claim your spot in the final using as little energy as possible.
Well, that was a faster heat than the opening one. Abdulatif Baka, the 800 and 1500 meters Paralympic champion, is through to the final, as is Hernandez Oviedo as well. So those two go through from this. 5 out of the 6 go through. It's just Ang who misses out. But that man there looking very solid indeed, Fukunaga Ryota, and he is through to the final of the men's 400 meters T13.
Just to update you on a result from last night. If you're with us this morning, you would have heard the overnight news that the big Algerian 1-2 from last night, the men's shot put F32, that ended up being reversed. Officials were studying footage afterwards. We'll give you a bit more on that after this. Women's shot put F32. It was Wally Farah who'd won it. Laura Belaz finished second. They had the marks all crossed off overnight. In the end, protest obviously by another team. So Alexei Churkin, neutral athlete, won it. Greek silver and bronze then for Athanasios Konstantinidis, Demetrius Sasidis in the men's equivalent of this.
We are now 4 deep into this women's shot put F32. Before Nali, we had Gazmi up. Gazmi of Algeria had a bit of a tough round, only registering 1 legal mark at 470, which means that Boscolo of Brazil is still in the lead with her BP, her lifetime best of 544. Nali has jumped into second with her first attempt, 5 meters 31. You can see there are 2 fouls. Now, we've spoken a lot about the seated events. You can see the judge just to, well, her left, our right, holding a white and a red flag. After the throw has been released, there's a decision made to determine if it is a true seated throw. You can just see there, with those 2 attempts, the athlete often has the chance just to ask some questions, to say, you know, what am I doing wrong? Give me a chance to correct it. And she's got a little bit of a break now. All athletes will get a break after their first 3 attempts. The 31-year-old, no stranger to the big stage. She is a 2-time Paralympian. But competing is different to training. And it's a skill you have to keep up. Do you know, I was thinking about my club throw technique when we were talking about it earlier. I've decided it definitely will involve a shout. All the best throwers seem to do that.
It's vitally important. The shout to make sure you get everything out there is vitally important, I think. I could see you doing that.
And that throw has been given the white flag, which is great news. 4 meters 44 will not improve on that first round throw. 2 more attempts left for Nali. Now, last year at the World Championships, the bronze medal was won at 6 meters 33. So she will need to improve on that 5:31 if she is to get into the medals. But it is possible. Her PB is 6:36. She has a season's best of 6 meters 25. One more throw to lift herself into the lead. She's just resetting herself there, taking her time, showing her maturity as a competitor. Just resetting again. Now there is a clock. The timer will be counting down. That mark will not improve on that first attempt. She will finish with 5:31. Now at the moment, she is in second place. Actually, you can see there that result has been given the red flag. So while she sits in second place, there are still 6 more women to come. And there are some heavy hitters coming behind her.
There's a massive field incoming for the men's long jump T64, and that means Marcus Reim. 8:72 is world record from Raida in Germany last summer, last June, and the championship record from Doha, which is 9 years ago, 8:40. He went out to what was a world record at the time in Berlin at the Europeans in 2018. He's only, 8:72 is only 23 centimeters behind Mike Powell from 1991. It's only 18 centimeters behind Bob Beeman, who had the record for what felt like forever, 23 years, but Powell has had it, 33 years now. Time flies. I remember watching that on TV.
Women's shot put F46. Due to get underway in the coming minutes. This year has the Paralympic javelin champion taking part in this, Holly Robinson of New Zealand, who's only opted to go in this event. She won silver in this back in Paris last year. Malcolm Mackey, who's the reigning champion and is also the world record and championship record holder. There's Holly Robinson. $11 set to go in this one. Now that will be a collector's item. So it's set to go. It is Shige Ting, lifetime best of 10:49, silver at the Asian Para Games last year. She finished 7th in the javelin at these championships. Saskia Sokolov has been busy. She's already won a silver in the javelin here.
Representing Japan,
Yukiko Saito, bronze last year in Paris.
representing New Zealand, Robinson Holly.
Silver in Paris last year, Holly Robinson, the Paralympic javelin champion.
Representing Tunisia,
Jihen Aziz of Tunisia, lifetime best set this year of 11:26. Zhang Jimin, bronze at the Asian Para Games last year. Noel Malkamaki, defending champion, world record and championship record holder that she set back in Paris last year. Johan Leroux of South Africa is the 8th of the athletes to be presented. 10:47 her lifetime best. Veneskaite of Lithuania, lifetime best set this year of 9:45.
Representing Canada.
From Canada, also a lifetime best set this year, 11:15, Katie Pegg. And the lady who finished 5th in the javelin at these championships, Roziakon Ergasheva of Uzbekistan. So there are 2 big names to look out for, especially in this one. Malcolm Mackey, the reigning champion from the USA, and that lady, Holly Robinson, who's opted just to go in the shot put at these championships, and she'll be up against Noah Malkamaki. Quite some throw that was last year. 13:32 in Paris. But it is the Chinese athlete, Shi Gaiting, who'll get us underway. 2 from China going in this one. 10:49 is a lifetime best coming into this, by the way. And that is not far from it. Just up around the 10-metre mark. That other mark you saw further out is the 12-metre one, but this one is, well, it just clipped the tape of that 10 metres. So 10:08 is a season best for Shi Gaiting. Now Sokolov looking to add another medal to her collection after picking up that silver in the javelin. It's out there just under the 10-metre mark. Now her lifetime best she set this year is 11:05, so there's a lot of improvement left in her. I suspect she'll be a little bit disappointed with that one.
Now, we mustn't forget that silver in the 100-metre. We've got a few athletes here that we feel like they're almost doing their own heptathlon or decathlon. We've got Derek Loxodon going in the long jump later on. He's also very busy. Maybe they should bring back the multi-events.
Yeah, I did. Oh, sorry, I did forget about that. I was more thinking about the field events and talking about the javelin, but the silver in that 100 metres, and I guess there's a bit of a correlation as Malkamaki cheers on those athletes going in front of her, which is nice to see. But there's a bit of a correlation with that javelin and that 100 metres as far as the speed goes on the runway. So Saito Yukiko, she's a bronze medalist from last year. That will be the leading mark. It's out there pushing towards the 11-metre mark, that one. 8:98 for Sokolov, by the way, with her opening throw.
I think it's always an interesting decision for athletes as to whether or not to specialize or to keep branched out. You see, again, we're going to see Marcus Rehm go in the long jump, who clearly is a long jump specialist, and look what commitment to that event, where that's led him. But then we heard Holly Robinson speak about how she's gone into the shot put simply because she just wanted a new outlet, a new way to be creative on the field, and wanted a bit of a, not a break, but just expansion from the javelin.
Well, here she comes now. 10:64, by the way, for Saito Yukiko, as Holly Robinson goes with her first. It adds a lot more to your training schedule, though, doesn't it, when you're going in more than one event, because it means you're having to portion your time out so they make sure you're training for every event, so it can make it a little bit more difficult.
It can make it tricky for sure, especially because both the javelin and the shot put are extremely technical events and very different technique. But at the same time, I think it has the benefit of when you're not constantly doing the same repetitive action and you're branching out, I actually think it's good in terms of preventing injury.
10:87 for Robinson, so it puts her into the lead. She is the 4th to throw. There are 11 going in this competition. We'll get back to that in a little while, but we're going to head back to the track and just have a look at the 400-metre T13 results. And
yeah, Skadrat Mani, 47.56, good win in his heat, very effective.
Fukunaga winning his. Masuga and Nandez Uvieda going through as well, and it will look like this.
Yeah, Mani's the fastest by 1.32 seconds over Fukunaga. But Celia, he did well to reach the final. Edwin Masuge, 4th for Botswana. And Magwata there as well. Kaskovic, as a neutral athlete, made it. So we've got a couple of heats in the opening round of the men's 400 metres T20. This is the intellectual category. A few champions in this, including the twice world champion Daniel Tavares Martins. Columba Blanco, the European champion, the Paralympic bronze medalist. He goes in 5. Daniel Tavares, silver last year. He's in lane 6. Pan Am silver medalist John Abando is here as well. There he is for Colombia. And the Pan Am champion, the Southeast Asian Games champion, Asian Games champion, all present in this heat, which is not where we'll be saying much tonight. Tactics are difficult in this. Those are part of the terms and conditions of the T20, incidentally. So lane 9 for Panama. Semi-finalist in the Paralympic Games, Sean Wisdom. In lane 8 for Malaysia. The Asian Games champion, Southeast Asian Games champion over 4, Mohammed Aman Ayman Noor Azmi. In lane 7 for Colombia, silver in the 4, gold in the long jump in the Pan Ams from John Abando. In lane 6 for Brazil, the twice world champion, and silver in the 4 last time out in Paris, Daniel Tavares. In lane 5 for Great Britain, the reigning European champion, bronze in the Paralympic Games in Tokyo, Columba Blanco. In lane 4 for Saudi Arabia, semi-finalist last time out in Paris, Idris Sufyani. In lane 3 for Thailand, championship debut for Natapon Kawamane. And in lane 2 for Korea, 4th in the Asian Games last year, Kim Byung-jin. This is the only track event for all of this field, and all bar Obando are concentrating on the 400 meters. Top 3 to go through, plus the next 2. So Blanco, the European champion in 5. Tavares, twice world champion in 6. Obando, Pan Am silver medalist 7. Noor Azmi, the Asian Games champion, Southeast Asian Games champion in 8. And Wisdom in 9, well, maybe could spring a surprise. Top 3 to go through, plus the next 2.
Set.
So away the first time of asking. Blanco tends to go away strongly. Tavares going away very strongly in 6 for Brazil. He's already overtaken Obando in the stagger. And Noor Azmi is flying as well in lane 8. Blanco going very well for Britain right now. Tavares absolutely zinging along. Championship record for him from Dubai in 2019. World record was set at the Pan Ams from Samuel Oliveira. They'll straighten up. It's Tavares for Brazil. It's Obando for Colombia. And it's Noor Azmi for Malaysia. They're the top 3 to go through. Obando is moving up, and Obando going very well. Noor Azmi on his outside. Obando, Noor Azmi, Tavares. 48.36 the winning time. They're the 3 who will go through, and the rest will have to wait. Obando is also in the long jump. 48.34. Noor Azmi, 48.45. They went a good tilt in that. There'll be a lot of season's best in it. Tavares as well for Brazil, 48.74, and head down and away.
It's actually a really nice evening to run a 400 meters. We've seen some pretty intense winds going on, and even though we don't get an actual wind reading for 400 meters because they figure, well, they're running in a circle, either you're going to get a big headwind or a big tailwind, running into a headwind actually is quite exhausting. And so having a still, smooth environment inside the stadium is quite helpful. I'm sure they're going to be hoping for that when it comes to the final.
I think they all enjoyed that, to be honest. Quite a lot of smiles on the faces as they came through. Blanco, the European champion, in 4th. Worth noting his time, 49.51. That's the European champion from Shaftesbury. Barnet coaches Chris Saar. Athletes will find it more difficult to plan event tactics. Those are part of the terms and conditions of the T20. There are tests that have to be done, tactical strategy tests before you're allowed qualifiers at T20. And we say that most explicitly, most solemnly. Saskia Sokolov, who's as versatile as they come at 46. 8.98 opening round for Serbia. Ooh, that's heading up towards 10 meters. She's had a brilliant week already. Silver's on the 1 and the javelin. She just shot to glory. She emerged in Bydgoszcz a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, in the Europeans. Won an absolute raft of medals there. F46 this is, which is the single arm category. And I guess she's the sort of woman who just says 9.53 there with a second attempt. Why not? Something like this. Why not? Great sprinter.
She's a fantastic, actually, she's really emerged this year as a sprinter. And it does help in an event like the throws, because throws are still quite explosive. But she is not quite throwing anywhere near her personal best at the moment.
Saito, second attempt, 10.64 in the opening round. Most of these are concentrating only on the shot put. There are nothing else. Saito currently in the bronze medal position for Japan. Bronze behind Malkamaki and Holly Robinson last year. In the shot, 11.72. Nice improvement. That's a season's best. A lifetime best is 12.47. Now, Holly Robinson, she's not in the javelin because she's a slight calf injury, nothing to worry about. She is actually in the entry list for the javelin here. She's not competing in it. She will be in Paris. Look at that for a belter. Silver last year for Robinson, coached by Raylene Bates. She's staying out of the harbour. She says when we were talking to her a few days ago on the eve of the competition, she's really enjoying it there. I think she's seen more of the harbour than most of us. But she'll be competitive in this. 11 meters 12, and she goes into bronze. Early days yet.
I've been harbouring a few bottles of water in my room, that's about it. Men's 400 metres T20. The second heat on the intellectual impairment category.
In lane 9, representing
there are 8
Indonesia,
set to go in this one.
Lenny Alfin. In lane 8, representing Spain, Rodriguez Ramirez Deliver.
Alfin Nomi of Indonesia goes out in lane 9, silver in the Asian Para Games. Rodriguez Ramirez,
Brazil, Oliveira
7th last year. Samuel Oliveira, the reigning champion
in lane 6,
and the Pan American Games champion, will go from lane 7. Giovanni Felipe, another of the Mauritians here at these games. He was bronze last year in Paris. Luis Rodriguez Bolivar, bronze in the Pan American Games. He was silver in Tokyo 2020.
Ecuador, Colorado Mina AA.
Ecuador's Colorado Mina.
Men's 400 meter T20, round 1, heat 2 starts now.
And lane 3 will be vacant because Guaran Zapata of Colombia did not make the start line. So we'll only have 6 set to go. Blanco and Kwame, 49.51 and 49.81 are the times in the hot seat.
Set.
And away they go. So all 6 get away perfectly fine and moving up very quickly. Rodriguez Bolivar has already flown past Giovanni Philippe of Mauritius and down the outside in the Rodriguez Ramirez in lane 8. He's taken in Nomleni of Indonesia. It is the first 3 who automatically go through. And then we'll look at those 2 fastest qualifiers as they move around. It's Rodriguez Ramirez of Spain who currently leads. And they'll straighten up in a moment or 2, and here's a Spaniard who is out in front and coming back really well on the outside. Alpha Nomleni of Indonesia. He's really put the afterburners on. And then Oliveira Consejo is doing his best. The reigning champion, he gets across in 3rd place, so it is going to be the Indonesian Nomleni, and then Rodriguez Ramirez of Spain, and then Samuel Oliveira, the reigning champion, who has come across in 3rd place. It is a lifetime best for the Indonesian. It was a wonderful run because at one point there it looked as though it would be left behind completely, but he really finished strongly, Steph, over that last 150.
This is a fantastic thing about the 400. It almost reminds me a bit about the 5,000 meter in the wheelchair, where it's almost like you're just doing everything in the beginning and it just comes down to a foot race at the end. It pretty much comes down to just make it to the 300 and then it's just a foot race. And I'm not sure it's the afterburners or more just him dying a little bit less than everyone else, but this is what it looks like to pace it well and to really nail your strategy.
Yeah, Nomleni, a wonderful run. I can also tell you our 2 qualifiers are going to go through from that because it was a much quicker heat than the one beforehand. So it is going to be Giovanni Philippe and Anderson Colorado who's going to go through as the fastest qualifiers. We'll give you a full result in a moment or 2's time, but it's back to the women's shot put F46.
Here's the champ, Noelle Malkamaki of the United States. 3rd round throw for Malkamaki. Out in front. World record in taking gold in Paris last year. Saito's 2nd, Robinson 3rd. That's a monster. That's the longest so far, no doubt about that, from Noelle Malkamaki. In search for back-to-back titles and looking good for it for the United States at the moment. They haven't sent a huge team here. It's the smallest American team I can ever remember. But she's doing her part. That's definitely an improvement. 12.95. Malkamaki goes further in front after 2 rounds. Long jump incoming, T64. Great field in this. The Nummer 1 is generally always this man. Big year for him. Don't tend to do training a week ahead of competition anymore, I believe. I saw that in an ad once.
I reckon those cameras there will be fully worked around that mark later on this evening.
I'll tell you what, I'd clean them first.
More sand than a beach down there. Well, unless you're at a pebble beach.
Well, the track action is continuing as well. And we have the final now, the men's 400 meters. T47, the below elbow, wrist, single category. And we have a great field. Asian Games champion formerly, Muraduliev of Uzbekistan, the reigning world and Paralympic champion Ayub Sadney, the world record holder, the Southeast Asian Games champion, Nurfari Pradana as well. Plus home interest, Yudai Suzuki. We do have a couple of championship debutants in this. We've already seen during the week, including Colin Mahalala there, and Luis Fernando Lara Rodallega. But as you'll notice, the Rodallega not there, that's the maternal name, and even though it's on the bibs, it's on the result system, it's only the first surname that is generally ever used. Christian Mejia from the Dominican Republic made his bow at the Pan Ams last year. And his compatriot Luis Vasquez as well. So can the Dominicans do well in this? We'll have to wait and see. And Nurfari Pradana, silver in the 4 in the Asian Games last year. was silver in the 1 and the 4 in 2018 in Jakarta. He had bronze in the 1 a year ago, but a clean sweep in the sprint of the Southeast Asian Games. Ayub Sadni here, 46.78 in Paris a year ago at the Worlds. The reigning Paralympic champion as well. He broke Heath Francis's world record in that, which has stood for 13 years. Broke his world record again at the Stade Charité in the Paris Grand Prix 2022, and then a year later at the World Championships in the same stadium. A happy hunting ground for him. And Yudai Suzuki will get a lot of support as well, the 24-year-old.
In lane 9, representing
So in lane 9 for Indonesia, the Southeast Asian Games champion, 1, 2 and the 4. The 3-time Asian Games silver medalist Nurfeni Pradana.
In lane 8.
In lane 8 for Japan, 5th in the long jump at the Asian Games and 7th in the long jump in the Worlds. Yudai Suzuki. Suzuki Yudai. In lane 7 for South Africa, the championship David Colin Malalela. In lane 6 for Morocco, the reigning world and Paralympic champion Ayub Sadni, the world record holder. In lane 5 for Uzbekistan, the twice Asian Games 1500 meters champion Marafjon Muraduliev.
In
lane 4 for the Dominican Republic, 5th in the 400 meters of the Paralympic Games in Tokyo, Luis Vasquez. In lane 3 for Colombia, championship debutant Luis Lara.
Rodaliga Luis Fernando.
And in lane 2 for the Dominican Republic, 4th in the 400 final at the Pan Ams in Santiago last year, Christian Mejia.
Men's 400 meters.
Strong field, Sadni in 6, Muraduliev in 5, Pradana 9. Have been major championship winners in their time.
Your marks.
46.78 a year ago at the Stade Charité. It's ended up for sprinting being a really decent track, this. So it's Mejia in 2, Lara 3, Vasquez 4, Muraduliev 5, Sadni 6, Malalela 7, Suzuki 8, Pradana 9. The final of the men's 400 meters, T47. And they're away. Solid start by Sadni in 6, and Muraduliev as well in 5. Sadni's already overtaking the debutant Malalela on his outside. He's taking care of that stagger straight away. Lara of Colombia going well too, but Sadni well out in front. Suzuki of Japan, the latest he's overtaken. This is a good lead, but Pradana's going well on the outside in 9. Could be a factor here. Silver in the 4 in the Asian Games a year ago, but it's Sadni out in front for Morocco. Now Malalela emerging well, the champion David on in 2nd, and Pradana in 3rd. But Ayub Sadni, he's putting down a big marker ahead of the defense of his Paralympic title in Paris. 47.31, he wins it. 2nd place going to Malalela, and I think Vasquez might just have been up in 3rd. It was tight for it. Malalela on his championship debut gets the silver. Lifetime best. Sadni wins it, and Muraduliev just got the nod ahead of Suzuki to take the bronze. Lifetime best for him as well, but Ayub Sadni defends his title, and it's a fast one.
That was an absolutely dominant run from Sadni to win in the end by almost 10 meters. But look at what it did for the rest of the field. Now, for the rest of the field, when you see someone go off that quickly, it's so important that you are disciplined and you're able to stick to your race plan. And almost definitely the top 3 in that race were rewarded with a PB. And when you have a standout performer like that in an event, the great thing is it then elevates the performance of everyone else around him. They know they have to step up if they want to match him.
They all got dragged along with him. Brilliant victory for him. Results to come. We've got a lot of important men to meet now. The men's long jump T64, and Marcus Ray be well watched in this.
Men's long jump T64 final. Representing Norway, Hegdal.
Well, Norway have already got a long jump medal this week. Kenneth Hegdal looking for the same. Dmitry Bartashevich has already finished 5th in the 100 meters here. Derek Loxodent has already won silver in the high jump, bronze in the 1, 8th in the javelin for the United States. For Sri Lanka, Indika Gamaj has already won bronze in the 100 meters. For South Africa, gold in the 100 meters here for Empumelelo Malonga.
Representing Greece, Kordis Anastasios.
Anastasios Kordis of Greece, 6:53 man.
Representing United States
in his career.
of America, Merrill Trenton.
Trenton Morrell, bronze last time for the United States with America's record.
Representing
For
India,
India,
Jamraj
5 goals to the name so
Salira.
far. Soliraj Jamra.
Representing Germany, Cordelia
Germany, Noah
Noah.
Bedelia, 697, who we've seen push up in European Championships before. It was 4th in the Paralympic Games, equal world record in the T62 for Stelianios Malakopoulos.
Representing
For Malaysia,
Bernard
silver in the
Eddie.
100 meters, the Asian Games champion, Southeast Asian Games champion, Eddie Bernard.
Representing Germany.
For
Ray
Germany,
Marquez.
the 7-time world champion, 4-time Paralympic champion Marcus Rome.
Representing
And last of all for Japan,
Matayoshi
Kota Matayoshi, 665 in his career. So you've got 3 current world record holders in this. Malonga holds the T44 record. Malakopoulos, T62. But this man has gone to the undiscovered country time and again. 8:72, the world record for Marcus Rame. It has been a glorious reign. He's won the last 3 Paralympic gold medals, the last 6 world championships, and multiple Euros as well. Now, Kenneth Hegdal, he is a prosthesist from the north. He has made his own prosthesis, plus some for the rest of the Norwegian team. He's based in Oslo now. It is his first World Championships. Was talking to him in Dubai on the way here. They have a team of 10. And he is a full-time prosthetic maker.
Well, that's already a good start for him because we have another very good jumper in this field who also is a prosthetist. And that, of course, is Marcus Rem.
Yeah, Hegdal. First in the championships now, 5:71 his lifetime best. His ambition here is to go beyond 6 meters for the first time. It's 5:21. So Kenneth Hegdal, 28 years old, just misses out. I should have actually asked him where in the north he was from, but it gets quite chilly there. Conditions here, they'll be perfectly fine for him. From the neutral team, Dmitry Bartashevich, 5th in the 1, 8th in the high jump here. And he's competing in neutral black as well. And he barely met the board there, did he? It's beyond 6 meters, so that'll be the lead. And we've got 13 in this. This is going to go on for quite a while as well.
Well, all of the athletes will get their first 3 attempts, and then we will have a reordering. So these first 3 attempts are quite important. You could just see the windsocks picking up there, which means that they currently have a wind in their face. Not ideal in terms of world records, thinking ahead for Rem, but it doesn't matter. They're all facing the same wind in the same conditions. But you're right, he was a bit far behind the board on that one, but he's got a legal jump in.
He's given her out 25 centimeters away, so he was in the air for about 640-ish. Now, you might have seen this man during the week. He's already won silver in the high jump, bronze in the 1, high jump PB, 17 centimeters, massive PB in the javelin. He finished 8th in that. I think there's a steeplechase happening tomorrow you might want to be in, downtown. Derek Loxton, United States, here he comes. Oh, he's gone big, look at that. He's a 760 man, and he is in search of a big medal here.
Well, before this World Championship, we knew Derek Loxton primarily as a long jumper. He finished 3rd at the World Championships this year, and he's been branching out. And what we're getting right there is our first slow motion shot of what it looks like when you nail the takeoff on a blade.
That will be the lead, 7 meters 05. He's gone out to 7:56 this season. In terms of lifetime best, he's pushing top 4. Indika Gamage, bronze in the 100 meters here. Sri Lanka having a good games. He's a 668 man. He's not hit the board there at all. Knocked around 6 meters.
Just a quick note on classification. I think we've introduced a few of the men now as 100-meter bronze medalists. And this is a men's T64 long jump. However, in the long jump, T44s, T62s are also eligible to compete.
So Gamage, 5:64. And there's just enough of a similarity that there's a fairness there, basically, then.
Well, there's always 2 reasons why you choose to separate classifications, and sometimes it does come down to the practical reason of actually we just need to make sure that we have a big field. And when you have classifications together, a classification in general, it's not necessarily a case of one class is stronger than the other or one class has an advantage. The question you have to ask yourself is, are you comparing like for like?
And this man has a gold in the T44, 100 meters. Epulamalelo Malonga. Oh, look at that. He's gone beyond 7 meters. 2 golds in a row for him, and silver in the 100 in Dubai in 2019. He's a 7:07 man in his career. That doesn't look too far away.
Well, speed certainly helps when it comes to the long jump. And even in the air, he's continuing that run, and that hitch kick action is helping him to keep his center of mass.
That 7:07, by the way, is a world record for T44, so keep that in mind if he goes beyond it. They're still measuring it. .705 for Loxton as a 64. And Malongo has come 4 centimeters away from his world record. It's 7:03, and he goes into the silver medal position. It's a long old wait, Marcus. Don't worry about that. You'll get your turn. Women's 100 meters T12. There is no Omara Durand. She didn't start the 400. That wipes her out for the rest of the week. Really opened the door up in the 400 quite historically. And surely will do so here as well. We've had nothing but a generation of Omara Durand wins. And it's been like when Phil Taylor was winning the darts every year. Everybody else was having to play second fiddle. Well, now they're having their go. They're having their big chance here. The 400 title going to DT Jivanji.
100 meter,
India's first
round 1, heat 1.
Track gold at a World Paralympics Championships. Might they get another through Simran? Silver in the 100 and the 200 in the Asian Games last year in Hangzhou. Simran with her guide, Abe Singh. T12 guides are optional. They've all opted for a guide here. In lane 5, the reigning Asian Games champion and Southeast Asian Games champion, Nimada Arianti Putri in a guide Bayu, Ali Exono. And in lane 7 for Spain, in his second World Championships, Gara Fuentes, and the guide Jaime Del Rio Ruiz.
Women's
Gara's
100
not had a
meter
European
T12
Championships to
round
compete
one,
in yet, because it's
Heat
been a few
1
years since we've had one, but
starts now.
it shall return. I always feel guilty when I give a big build-up to various athletes because they've won loads, and then you have an athlete that hasn't had a Continental Championships for a few years. But Gara Fuentes has a chance to add to the CV here. It's only the winner to go through to the final. 3 heats in this. They are semi-finals. And the next fastest, the fastest runner-up, the fastest second placer, goes through as well. Simran in 3. Putri in 5. Fuentes in 7.
Set.
So that way, great start by Simran. India have had some championships so far. Putri in 2nd. Simran is well clear here. Just got to get the guide right. Simran to go through. 12:32. Season's best for her. Putri 2nd. And Fuentes 3rd, the 1, 2, 3. So Putri will have to wait. That was a nice win. And she just went for it. She bounded it. T12, category of medium visual impairment. Up to 5% vision. And 100% commitment. And 100% victory.
Fantastic run from Simran. And I know that we are all missing Durand, but what this does, again, is just entirely change the tone of these heats and the final, because her personal best is almost half a second faster than these women, but it gives someone else a chance to step up and learn how to perform under pressure.
Well, now for India, who are having some week, it is Damraj. Merrill, by the way, a no jump just moments ago.
So Damraj, with his opening jump, the reigning Asian Para Games champion, gold medalist last year. He's the 8th to go. And he gets a mark out there, upwards toward the 7 meters. He lost a bit of pace there towards the end, and the bounce off the board didn't really happen. So he lost a few good centimeters, but that is a wonderful first up effort to get him on the board.
One of the things that you will hear, as you say, when those blades connect with the board is this really satisfying crack. And you're right, we didn't get that there. It was a jump that was on the other side of the board, the safe side, the one that still counts. But particularly when it comes to the blades, I've always found that you get more power, more lift, more pop when you take off from the board.
But the important part is he does have a mark, 660. He goes up into the bronze medal position. Very important when it gets narrowed down to 8 athletes after those first 3 jumps to make sure you are there in the mix. So as Marcus Rahm looks on at his compatriot, Noah Bedelia, 697, Bedelia's best. And that is pretty decent. Lifetime best set this year of 697. And that one there may be pushing up over that 7 meter mark.
What I love about this event is when Marcus won the Paralympics back in London 2012, he won it in 7:35, and everybody thought that was amazing. And now we have so many of the athletes in this field peppering around that 7 meter marker. So now that's just the standard.
Well, it's 683, so he does usurp Damraj, who went just before him. So Damraj drops down to 4th, Bedelia up to 3rd. And we're getting ever closer to Marcus Rahm's first jump. There's the windsocks there, just slightly blowing into the faces of the athletes at the moment. Stylianos Malakopoulos just missing out on a bronze medal in the Tokyo Paralympics. Biding his time. He still has around 32 seconds on the clock, so well within his rights to just wait for that wind to die slightly. And that's exactly what he's doing. Doesn't seem to be changing much at all, so soon enough he will start his run up as we head down towards that 10-second marker. Well, it's out there. Maybe lost a little bit with his elbows just dropping down there behind him.
He has the longest run-up in this field, and that's just because sometimes it can take a little bit of time to get those double blades going. You could see him patiently waiting, hoping that wind was going to die down, and it just didn't. No. And you can see he was a little bit behind the board there. Wind really does come into it and affect the runway.
And you know what? It was only actually a slight headwind. It was negative 0.5, so it wasn't actually that much of a headwind, but it was enough to affect him.
Maybe it was his patience, and he really did get it is gusting a little bit. Yeah. So I do think athletes they're quite wise to wait and take the time and say, I'm going to go when I'm ready.
Absolutely. Eddie Bernard, who was seen on the track this week, who will go now in the long jump. 6:36, his lifetime best, 6:15 this year. Malaysia having quite some games. Eddie Bernard is a T44. Just shy of that 6 metre mark. Good to see he's got a smile on his face anyway. So much pressure on these athletes at times, and you do like it when they actually are enjoying what they're doing. 581, just to show you how temperamental that wind is. That was a plus 0.1. After Malakopoulos was waiting for that wind to die down coming into his face before. So the T64 long jump for men will continue at pace, but we'll head back to the track because it's heat number 2 of the women's 100 metres T12 medium visual impairment category.
On your marks.
And there are 4 to go in this one. Cretu of Moldova will go in 1. De La Cruz Severino of the Dominican Republic in 3. Gomes de Agua of Brazil in 5. And Araujo of Portugal, who was a bronze European Championship medalist back in 2021, will go in lane 7. .12.77, that qualifying cut-off time at the moment, because only 1 will go through after the heats. So the first place goes through automatically. And then we'll be looking for the time of the fastest qualifier. He'll be in the hot seat, and they get away with no problems. And Gomes de Agua is trying to catch up with De La Cruz Severino, the 23-year-olds. There's going to be a race in 2 between them, but it is going to be De La Cruz Severino of Dominican Republic. 12.51, just outside her season best, which was 12.49. She takes the win. 12.57 for Gomes de Agua. So at the moment, that puts her in the qualifying position as Marcus Reim heads onto the runway.
He's the man. And he starts now, the defending champion, the world record holder. Reim on the way for the first time, and he bounds out beyond 8 meters. It's a white flag. He's on the way to gold. Is he on the way to more history tonight? He has claimed the last 6 world titles. 7 would be heaven. It would be a 10th consecutive global gold.
I think what I love most about watching him jump is just the reaction from the crowds, particularly when they realize, oh my goodness, he might actually go out of the pit. Now just watch him there. There's actually been competitions where they have had to put padding on the pit just to make sure that it's safe. Now he uses quite a simple technique, very, very effective, and it is just the power he generates off that board. And that's actually quite a modest jump for him. So my goodness, if he gets anywhere near that world record, I'm actually quite nervous for the size of that pit.
Yeah, 7.95 it was for Reim, and that's just for starters. That's his foundation. Koto Matayoshi of Japan going immediately after Reim, so he'll get good support as well. And that's a foul. Well, he was heading out towards 6 meters 50. He still has 2 jumps to go. Almost a case of after the Lord Mayor's show, but he still has a couple of attempts to go, and he can watch that back and see what not to do next time. Running into a slight headwind. Raim used to do a little bit of this once.
Well, here's that last race, just confirmation of it. De La Cruz, Severino, 12:51. Gomez de Agua, 12:57. That does place her at the moment in the hot seat position. Season best for the third and fourth place in Araujo and Cretu. But that won't be enough. So 12:57 will be the mark. In the third heat, they'll be looking at for the hot seat for whoever finishes in second position. Only the first will go through automatically.
And that comes now, 3 in it. Former Paralympic relay champion, the old 4x1 in visual impairment for Shen Yakin. We've already seen her in the 400, so 12:57 for Gomez is the target for the second placer. Run beyond that and you should be okay. Unless you're third, that's a different story. The fastest loser spot or the hot seat. Next fastest, etc., etc. Laia Pinge as well, who we've not seen in a major championship final. She's not been able to qualify for one, but tonight may be the night. Shen has the fastest lifetime best by a good bit, actually. 12:25. And again, it is T12. It is optional for the guides category medium visual impairment, up to 5%. And they've all decided to have a bit of company tonight on the track. Remember, no Amara Durand missed the 400. There was no medical exception. Her team said she's just not feeling great a couple of minutes beforehand. Not sure how she feels now.
Women's 100-meter T12 round
Definitely
1.
would want to be there.
3.
She missed the clean sweep of the Pan Ams due to disqualification, and it was the
People's
one. It would have been a
Republic of China.
hat-trick of
Shen
titles again
Yakin
for her.
And the guide Li Wen.
Lane 3 for China. Silver in the 4, bronze in the 1 and the 2 in last year's Asian Games for Shen Yakin and her guide Li Wen. Pan Am silver for the Dominican Republic for Manuela Jacinto and her guide Raylene Coraldo. And in lane 7 for Namibia. Semi-final in the 100 meters in the Worlds last year in Paris. Can she move on? Laia Pinge and her guide Paulus Philippus.
Women's 100-meter T12 round 1. Heat
Now,
3.
I tell you what, he could have been an emperor. They will want to rule.
On your mark.
They'll have to beat Shen first. Gomez, 12:57, the next fastest right now. Winners only definitely going through. And then wait and see. A new champion waiting to be crowned in this 100 meters T12 with Omara Durand here, but not directly here. Shen Yakin in 3, Manuela Jacinto in 5, Laia Pinge in 7, and obviously the tethering and the running alongside, but just sorting things out for the athletes and getting into the blocks. It is a full job. And then going stride by stride, try and get into the final. Shen in 3, Jacinto 5, Pinge 7. They're away, and Shen is well away. Jacinto not doing too badly at the moment for the Dominican Republic. Shen is being pushed a good bit here. Shen on the way, still Jacinto behind in second place. And Shen takes it, Jacinto second. Pinge in third. 12:65 the winning time. And that means it is only Shen who goes through. Gomez is fine as the fastest loser in the hot seat. I mean, Jacinto still had a A lifetime best in 12.70. That's not much to complain about, but Chen shuffles it.
That was a fantastic run from Jacinta Santana, particularly in the latter half of the race, but you can just see the synchronicity there from Shen and her guide, that perfect dip. However, in terms of synchronicity, I did love the matching spikes from Ipinge and her guide, and also matching fancy socks.
Shen through, no worries about that. Jacinto with the lifetime best.
So it's Malongo. As we head back to the long jump T64, Malongo T44. .703 with his opener. World Championship record holder, set 5 years ago in Dubai in the T44 category. 707. He was only 4 centimetres off with his opener, and he missed a bit of meterage, centimetres on the board. Let's see with that this time. And that one's pretty good as well, but it's up around the same mark. He gets the white flag. I think he might have lost a little bit again at the board.
This is actually a good sign for Malongo because his personal best is 707 and he's jumping around that every time. And I always find that when you are constantly around that personal best mark, that's when you're ready to make that next, well, as I say, next big leap, literally in this case.
690, so 13 centimetres shorter than his opener. He does stay in third position. So there is that. There's Cordes heads out for his second, and that is a foul. Well over the line. Red flag given straight away. No doubt about that one. So he is just outside those automatic qualifications, and there will be some pressure on for his third jump. 616 with his opener. He sits 9th. Season best for that opener, but he has to find something. At the moment, he's 9 centimetres behind. And that won't be a mark.
Now that is a look at what happens when you get it wrong. And I've had competitions where it's been raining and actually you get that moment where you slip off the board. And to be honest, it's actually really scary. For me, I've always found that when that happens, I just have that moment of doubt in my blade, and you don't want that. And so I would always try and get up. No, you got to jump right again. Get that out of your head. But he looks very undisturbed by it, so that's good. But it just shows if you get, we've talked a little bit about that feeling. You likened it to a trampoline. When you hit it right, you pop. When you don't, you get nothing from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And by it, I mean the blade.
Well, Bedelia, 683, the second German name in this. I don't think I need to introduce the first one. And that one's up towards the 7-metre mark again. It's a white flag that's given. Now 693 with his first, or 683 I should say, 697 is his lifetime best. So he was 14 centimetres off it. Yeah, not bad positioning on the board. Only a few centimetres given away, but you're not going to be perfect every single time. So just slightly less. 683 remains his best mark and he's in 5th position. Malakopoulos, we saw him waiting before for that breeze to just die down. He's going for it this time. 657, he's in 7th position, is Malakopoulos. 723, his lifetime best. Well, I think it'll be a bit better perhaps than 657, not up over that 7-metre mark though. Does take a while for him to get to the board, doesn't it? Because he's coming from such a distance.
It does, and I do think that it can be tricky, particularly as a double-bladed athlete, to have. We have what you call a penultimate jump that comes just before the takeoff jump, and that really is what sets up your jump. And I think it would be incredibly difficult to do that when you don't have that proprioception in your foot. However, I do know he's been training in Lanzarote with Marcus Rem, and that's not a bad training partner to have.
Well, would you believe it? He's jumped exactly the same, Malakopoulos, on his second jump as the first, 657. So he stays in 7th position. Eddie Bernard, 581 with his opener. Needs to find himself a few places. He'll have another jump after this. Well back from the board, up around that 6-metre mark. 636, his lifetime best. 615, best he's done this year.
Yes, at the moment, Bernard is in what we would call the cutoff zone. Only the top 8 athletes will move on. But this is actually quite an exciting situation for this field. We have 13 men in the field, and there were just 6 in Tokyo. And I was trying to think, why would that be? And it's because countries can only send a limited number of athletes. And the thing is, when you have someone like Marcus Rem who's so dominant, they have to hedge their bets in terms of where they're going to win medals. So it kind of has this interesting knock-on effect, but it's fantastic to see that we have such a big field here and such a big quality field.
Yeah, talking of quality, there he is. Marcus Rem, 872, that world record set last year in the middle of the year in his home country of Germany. It's always an absolute thrill to watch him jump. And you know what? I haven't seen him foul too many times. I'll probably put the mockers on him right now and there'll be a big red flag given here, but he's usually very good at getting that run up exactly how he needs to have it and being pretty close to the edge of the board when he jumps. Let's hope I haven't scuppered that. Yeah.
Well done, Jonah. Brilliant. Brilliant. Just make sure we're not on the same plane going back, all right?
I'll exit stage right. It's all yours.
Ooh, he just scuffed it a bit, didn't he? Oh, well.
So if you are looking really closely at the blades, you'll notice that the shape of the blades that the top jumpers use when they long jump is actually different from what they use when they're sprinting. And so you have to make this decision about what you want to optimize. And so obviously in a 100-meter sprint, it's about speed, but you would actually want different qualities from a blade if you're looking to optimize takeoff. So in some ways, you're actually having to make a bit of a compromise.
Kota Matayoshi, second attempt. And the last to go in round 2. You saw Marcus Rem chatting briefly to his long-time coach, Steffi Nereus. She retired from able-bodied athletics in 2009, the World Athletics Champion in 2009. The week of Bolt, took gold in the javelin, a retirement event. She's been a para-athletics coach for 20 years. Actually longer than that, I think around millennium time, 25 years. Very early in her international athletics career. So, Kota Matayoshi, can he get one on the board here? No. He was way, way, way over the board, I'm afraid. Red flag every day of the week. Very much so. That's a pity. He was heading out towards 7. If he got that right, it would have been about 670-ish. Would have been competitive. He's a 665 man in his career. He's only got a 569 this year, but may not necessarily be in a huge amount of events there. So this is where we are after 2 rounds. Marcus Rame leads, 795. Derek Loxton in second for the USA. 747 America's records. This was a while ago. Men's 400 T20, Abando winning it.
This was the second one. Nom Lemmy winning that one, and that was the fastest. So Colorado and Rodriguez went through as the fastest qualifiers. And that's how it looks. Aspria at the top, season best, and at the bottom, it is 49.50 with Bolivar.
Ayub Sadni winning the men's 400 metres T47 for Morocco. 47.30 ahead of Colin. Malalanga, brilliant debut for South Africa with the silver.
Bartoszewicz back at the long jump T64, and he is teetering in 8th position. 6:44 with his season best at the moment. He needs to find something else though. Does the neutral para-athlete. So Bartoszewicz, his lifetime best is 6:66. He'll be wanting to get up towards that just to try and help guarantee him a space in the final 3 jumps. And that won't be up near it. Might have to settle for 6:44 and hope that that's good enough to get him through. This is when it gets a bit nervy. Around this time when you start looking over your shoulder at what's coming behind. So Bartoszewicz is on 6:44, and behind him at the moment, Indika Gamage of Sri Lanka, 6:25. So there's not much in it. It is a season best for Gamage behind him, though, you have to say that. So 6:31, no improvement, and Bartoszewicz stays with the season best in 8th position. Now, Derek Loxton, what a games he's having. New America's record. He's having an absolutely wonderful time. Bronze in the 100. Silver in the high jump. He couldn't get gold here, could he? Anyway, off he goes. And that is a fair and legal jump, and that is way up towards the 8-metre mark. Well, Loxton, 7:47, the mark from his second.
I was wondering, I was looking through the lineup thinking, oh, maybe he's a little bit tired. You know, he's already had that massive PB in the high jump. He's done a lot of work, but he is absolutely pumped up. And that is another America's record, 7:69. And Marcus is giving that the nod of approval.
Well, he was 7:60 his lifetime best coming into it. He's broken it twice. Men's 100 metres T53 final. Brent Lakatos, the world and championship record holder. He's not here, though. This man is. Herzog of Mongolia will go from lane 2. He's one of 7 set to go. Yu from Korea, 51 years of age, silver already in the 400 metres here.
Representing France, Fairbank.
Yeah, Fairbank, he's been amongst the medals as well. Age shall not worry him. He's won gold in the 400 here. Al-Qureshi of Saudi Arabia, he was 4th in that 400 metres, silver medalist in this event. last year. He also won gold in the Asian Para Games last year. Fernandes da Silva of Brazil, bronze medalist last year. He was disqualified here in the 400.
Representing Tunisia.
Khalifi of Tunisia, bronze here in the 400. And Bob Hunt, who won bronze in the Pan American Games last year in Santiago in Chile, will go out in lane 8.
Men's 100-meter T53.
So we're amongst a group of athletes who have been very busy at these games. No, Pongsakorn Payo, the reigning champion, he's not here.
On your marks.
Pierre Fairbank, the gold medalist in the 400 and the European champion, will be looking for something more. It was a while between drinks, a gold medal in a major championship, but he picked one up.
Set.
And away they push, and in the yellow top of Brazil, Fernandes da Silva got away, but on the inside, Al Qurashi, silver medalist last year, but he looks like he's going to be taking gold this time around. He does take it. It's going to be Brazil who take it in the silver medal position, and then out wide, I think it might have been Khalifi who picked up that bronze medal. We'll get confirmation in a moment. 14:87 the time for Al Qurashi. Season best for Fernandes da Silva, 15:05 for him. And Khalifi has taken the bronze medal in 15:23, just edging out Pierre Fairbank by 3/100ths of a second. So Al Qurashi, it was Fernandes da Silva who got off to the fast start, but the Saudi Arabian picked him up very quickly indeed.
Now, at the top right of your screen, you would have seen a graphic that said at the end they were at about 25 kilometers an hour. I would say that was a bit off, because at the end of this, they have picked up that speed. They're around about 30 kilometers an hour, and it was so great because at the start of this race, you could actually just hear the sound of their gloves against the wheel as they were setting them, getting that tackiness, because if they slip even once in this 100 meters, you will not get to your top acceleration. There is no room for a mistake hitting those push rims.
Abdurrahman Al Qurashi of Saudi Arabia. He missed out in the medal in the 400 meters. He's taken gold to get ahead of that silver he picked up in Paris last year. 10 months later, he moves from the second position silver, and he adds to that Asian Para gold he picked up last year with a gold at the World Championships. Al Qurashi gold in first place. Fernandes da Silva, silver, and a season best. And Khalifi picking up the bronze medal for Tunisia.
Well, in the long jump, T64, these are the 8 currently going through. Eddie Bernard can still make it. Koto Matayoshi, I can tell you that we have lost Indika Gamaj of Sri Lanka. He is 9th. He's had all his attempts. And Anastasios Cordis, and also Kenneth Hegdahl. Went to Molde High School. Actually, he's a twin brother I see in the Norwegian papers called Kim. So hello, Kim. Unless Kim's here. Here's Trenton Merrill. Now in 4th place, looking to go big. He did go big, but unfortunately went big too early. The Californian, bronze in the Paralympic Games. He's had a few 4th places at World Championships. Silver in the relay back in 2015, once upon a time in Doha, and that was beyond the pale for Trenton Merrill. Californian San Juan Capistrano, he calls out. So Dharmraj of India, 6:60 in the opening round for the Asian Para Games champion in Hangzhou. 6:97 his lifetime best this year. That would be very tasty if he could try and inch past that. So for India, who are having the games of their lives. He's top 6 right now. Can he go higher? Dharmraj, who's met that well. It's about 6.5. Doesn't look to have improved.
Now, if you're looking at the totals on the score sheet, I think sometimes there's a Maybe a tendency to think, well, Marcus Rem, he's so far ahead. How is anyone ever going to catch him? But again, I just go back to the early days of Marcus. He didn't come out here jumping 8.5. It's been a decade of dedication and work, and there's no reason why everyone else in this field can't do the same and eventually get up to those bigger and bigger distances.
6:28 Dharmraj. He stays in 6th position. Now there's still 3 below him who can crawl above, and this is one of them. He's currently lying in 5th. There's Noah Baudelaire. 683 in the opening round. He's gone to 697 in his career. He's only 20, Noah. But he's beginning to make a good impact. He's from Bayer Leverkusen, one of the great multi-sport clubs. Big night for them, big night for him. It's a white flag. Oh, that's a monster. That must be a lifetime best. 683 in the opening round. Prospects here.
Well, you can see Fleur Zhang in the crowd giving that one a nod. And I often find, particularly with the blade jumpers, if you just close your eyes and listen to the runway, you can actually hear the rhythm and you'll know if it's going to be a big jump.
That's a big jump. His lifetime best going to this 697 from earlier this year. In 5th place before this, 712, lifetime best. Germany 1, Germany 3. Baudelaire goes into the bronze medal position. Malakopoulos for Greece. 5th in the World Championships last year. In the Europeans, in Bydgoszcz, 3 years ago, he didn't reach the remark. He's improved here, 657, 657, and maybe a little bit more. He's 3 centimeters behind Dharmraj of India. Trenton Merrill is now 688 in 5th. Baudelaire up into bronze with that lifetime best. 712. Used the board well. Doesn't need to worry about what tiny margin was given away there. 696. He rises. It's a championship record as well for a T62. He's 5th. He's only 7 centimeters behind Malongo. Now, Eddie Bernard, silver in the 100 meters in the T44. Silver in the 1. Lifetime best 636. That would not be enough. He's 11th now. We'll rise him to 9th. So Bernard looking for something really big to stay in. It's marginally over 6, and that'll be Eddie's end in this competition. $5.95 doesn't improve. Rain will go next, but he's going to have to wait. We've got another gold to be decided here. Luca Eckler, already 2 golds here, not competing in this. She won it last year. This woman won 3 golds like Eckler. So for Colombia in 6, bronze in the 100 here. Having won gold in the 100 a year ago. Darian Jimenez. So in 8, close to us. In the Pan Ams last year, silver in the long jump, bronze in the 1, and in 2019, should I say, in Lima, bronze in the 4 in the long jump. For Katerina Guimaraes of Cranford, New Jersey. She's an author as well, the Death Garden book series, available in all good bookstores now. It's with the New Jersey Navigators coaches, John Guimaraes, Joachim Cruz, former footballer. That's soccer. Rock climbing as well once upon a time. And Karen Palameke, 3 goals last year. In 7 she is. Silver in the 1, bronze in the long jump behind Eckler. She's in 7. So Jimenez 6, Palameke 7, Guimaraes in lane 8. Final of the 200, T38, and it's on. And it's a good start by Palameke. Gliding clear. Guimaraes just behind. Palameke in 7. Jimenez alongside her in 6. Palameke on the way. No Eckler to contend with tonight. And Karen Palameke's on her way to gold. It's going to be a fast one. 25.78 is the world record. It's close. 25.90. Palameke wins it. Jimenez second. Guimaraes in third. Colombia 1, Colombia 2, and a new America's record for Palameke. She was only 11 hundredths outside Luca Eckler's world record from Paris last year. Guimaraes taking up the 3rd spot for the United States, and Jimenez in 2nd.
Now, in case you're wondering why there are just 3 women in this event when we know we have lots of talented T38s here, the 200 meters isn't actually a Paralympic event, just the 100 and the 400 sprint. However, it still is an amazing opportunity to come out and get experience at the World Championship stage. And Karen Palameke certainly took advantage. We know that she's just feeling her way now, as she's been reclassified from a T37 to a T38. But an America's record, and not too far off of Luca Eckler's world record.
Wow, 25.89. Palameke gets the gold. Jimenez in 2nd. Guimaraes in 3rd. Good to see her on board at the age of 20. Along with her 4 Pan Am medals in her career. Palameke takes it. 25.89. First for Colombia. Jimenez 2nd for Colombia. Last year's 100 meters champion. She's still the Pan Am champion. Katarina Guimaraes in 3rd. According to my esteemed colleague, looks a tiny bit like Avril Lavigne. Used to be in a rock climbing club. It closed, so it got a bit complicated.
Just a quick one on the men's long jump. Noah Bedelia, who jumped 7.49 metres on the 9th of May in Bremen. So that is his correct PB. So 7.49 metres that he jumped earlier this month in Bremen, just before these championships, the compatriot of Marcus Reim.
And here he comes, 3rd attempt for Reim on the way, 7.95, opening round. That's another belter. Beyond 7.5, gets the white flag. A little shrug from the ace champion. Put a lot into it. It's probably shy of 8. Straining the sinews very well. 7.76, and barely a gasp of wind to bother him. Something else bothering him though. Got to get the tape out.
Do you know what? Gaffer tape. Put gaffer tape on. If there's still a problem, put more gaffer tape on.
No, genuinely, gaffer tape is the friend of all blade runners.
It's the friend of anyone who's not an athlete. It's a friend.
Duct tape.
If it doesn't work, put more on. It's
and we
always
say
the way.
Farewell to Indika Gamage, Cordis, Eddie Bernard, Kota Matayoshi, and Kenneth Egdahl.
Oh, he's got the screwdriver out as well.
No, this is serious stuff.
Yeah.
Derek Loxodent doing well in 2nd spot right now, and Noah Baudelaire in 3rd with that 7.49. What was the wind speed for that? We'll have to look that up in Bremen.
Well, 7.49 was the mark that was given on the 9th of May in Bremen. If you have a look at that and see if you can find that, because you can find some weird and wonderful things. But that's how it looks at the moment. 7.95, a season best for Marcus Reim. Loxodent, 7.69 with that new America's records. And Baudelaire, lifetime best of 7.12 is what it's saying on there. But our information is that it's 7.49 set in Bremen on the 9th of May. He's in third position at the moment. Malongo, who is the world record holder in T44, season best 7:03. He sits in fourth position. But here comes Bartoszewicz as we start the fourth round. Bartoszewicz so far 6:44, his best. That's at a similar type of mark, that one there. He came into this with a 6:66 lifetime best. Now if he can add a bit more to it. $6.28 doesn't improve. And Damraj, who's only 16 centimetres ahead of Bartoszewicz. But there's not a great deal of distance between him and possibly sixth place. Trenton Merrill, 6:88 at the moment, holds that sixth position. He had one legal jump. His second, his first and third were both fouls for Merrill. But here goes the Indian, Damraj. 6:60 was his first. Second one didn't work out too well, 6:28. And that one there looks a pretty good mark as well.
What I always find fascinating when they do that shot where they pan down just there, until you actually get to the blade, the hips are so even and the running stride just looks so smooth. But it's interesting when you watch the athletes walk in their blades versus run, because the blade is actually aligned a little bit higher, and that's because it compresses as you run.
Some breaking news from Will Downing. No? Okay, Trenton Merrill is about to go. He's sick. Just mentioned him a moment or two ago. Two fouls, but he did get a 6:88. That one, if it's a white flag, will be longer. I think they're going to have a look at this one. White flag's given. So Merrill, bronze at the Paralympic Games. Yeah, that was good. That was close. And it looks over the 7-metre mark. 7:36 his season best. 7:75 his lifetime best. He's gone 7:10. He's up into fourth position.
At last year's world champs, Merrill finished in fourth. I can guarantee he does not want to be there again this time.
No, not at all. Last track event of the evening on day 6. It is the women's 1500 metres T20, and the world and championship record holder Barbara Biegnovska-Zajac, formerly Barbara Nowitzkiel, goes in this one. She's been around for a while. She won gold in Sydney in the 800 metres back in 2000.
Women's 1500 meter T20 final. Representing Japan,
Nakano Koko heading out for Japan, 4:51 her lifetime best. Two twins in this one, the Hungarians, Iona Baxi there. She's won
Poland,
7 major championship medals, either bronze or silver, mainly because of that lady there.
Representing Brazil,
She's the reigning champion.
Antonio Kila.
De Silva Barros will go in lane 4, silver medalist behind the pole last year. Yamamoto Moko, Asian Para Games champion. And Bernadette Biaxi,
Bernadette,
who finished 4th at best back in London 2012.
representing
Goes
Japan,
next to Fujiwara Yuna,
Yuna.
the second of the, or third I should say, of the Japanese to go now. Every commentator's nightmare. The Biaxi twins running, because you cannot really tell the difference between them. So, wish me luck.
On your marks.
7 to go. Women's 1500 metres T20 intellectual impairment category.
Stand up.
Almost, yeah, a bit of a move from the middle from the Brazilian there, De Silva Barros, next to Beganovska Zajcek.
It's a technical error. The clock had started.
You know, I thought it was the little stumble. Yeah, you're right there. You can see it going. You know, that's what you don't want. And I think that might have been the reason, you know, why the Brazilian, De Silva Barros, made a little movement.
Right, stand up.
Do you know what? The gun has gone off twice and there's no sound. That's what it is. That's why the clock started, because there was a flash previously as well. So there's no bang for the athletes to go. There's nothing to react to.
Yeah, and of course is the electronic linked gun. So it does show the clock will start running. Let's hope we don't have to go back to the old cap gun. Then we'll be in trouble. Like the old cowboys and Indians days. So we're getting set now. Yona Biaxi there, just while we've got a moment, next to the reigning champion, Beganovska Zajcek. Yona Biaxi won gold in 2014 Swansea in this, silver in the European Championships in 2016, silver in Rio in 2016, and she's won 5 bronze medals as well in this event, all because of the lady next to her, Beganovska Zajcek. Now, not sure what's gone on here.
I guess they couldn't be held any longer, and they've just... It's going to take a while to fix, so they've said, look, just move on up.
Yeah, this is all a bit strange at the moment. At one point there, I think a few of them thought the race had actually got underway. Now, you have to remember this also is the intellectual impairment category, so it is a bit difficult when these type of things happen. It causes some stress.
Now we're going to see Derek L'Occident. Baudelaire has not improved. He was 7:11. That's 7:49 in Bremen. Small meeting. I just reckon it hasn't probably been ratified yet, because we had a situation with Fleur Young going into the Europeans of Bydgoszcz, where officially she'd broke the world record 4 times, but she'd already hit that mark earlier on, so she only to herself broke it once. And Kimberly Alcamada has been inside the 200 world record in recent weeks, and we'll find out in a day or two if that's gone towards the world record here. Ezra Freck in the crowd as well, watching his teammate Derek L'Occident, already silver in the high jump, 7:69 America's record in round 3. It's not a bad try either, it's well beyond 7 meters. They all have been so far. He is only 26 centimeters behind Marcus Ray.
Do you know what? It's nice to see Marcus Raim getting competition as well, because sometimes you think that it's just Marcus Raim and then the rest of the best of the rest, but Derek L'Occident is jumping magnificently.
We have seen a few surprises here. Kashafali beaten by Atmani, who obviously is a good champion in his own right, over 400 in para-athletics, and the all-time Algerian record holder. So, Marcus Raim, 7:95 in the opening round, 7:76 in the third. He, by the way, did have 2 misses. 7:28, that was by L'Occident. That new America's record, 7:69.
Just to put those results into context, Marcus has already jumped this year, and it's been over 8. I think it was 8:44, 8:40. So it might be a little premature to suggest there's a rivalry going on, but I like the sentiment.
I'm just saying.
Well, let's see how he does here in round 4. He's got some great champions urging him on here among the crowd in Kobe. It's Raim. It's good. That'll be a white flag. I don't think he used the board very much, and that'll frustrate him a bit. He's certainly on his way at the moment to a 7th world title. He's in the lead anyhow, but he's being pushed a bit. He has never been beaten in a championship outing. And he did want to push a few years ago to be in able-bodied international championships.
In the words of Steph Reed then, he ate sand.
I think
Literally
he might
did.
have.
Literally did. That's again shy of 8. It is 7.86 for Marcus Rame. Certainly you can't fault the effort being put in. He has had a few medals on the track. Bronze in the 100 metres in Swansea in 2014. Delier 7.12. So Bayer Leverkusen, man, and in football, they're playing later tonight in the Europa League final against Atalanta at Lansdowne Road in Dublin. Viva Stadium. Oh, hang on, it's a UEFA competition. They can't call it that. The Dublin Stadium.
Lansdowne Road.
Lansdowne Road, which is what it should be anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Because, you know, in Germany, right?
Yeah, it's a country.
There's loads of sponsored nations. Would you like a cigarette? Yes, yes, it is. Because in Germany, you've got loads of sponsored stadiums, and nobody calls them by those names.
No.
It's all the original names. Lansdowne Road, great stadium.
Although Bayer Leverkusen, who you talk about there,
Of course,
Leverkusen.
but no, well, now it is actually the Bayer club that they set up, that the company set up itself in about 1905 or whenever. Same as the Waterford Crystal Football Club and the Waterford Crystal Basketball Club. More than a sponsor, they actually set it up for their employees.
Just like you, more than a commentator. Well, I think we might be ready soon.
That is not Ezra Freck in
No.
the infield, by the way.
He's the hardest working man in
He
this
is.
stadium. Every time I see him, he's out to fix a problem. Now, let's hope they can fix this.
In the morning sessions, by the way, if you've not been able to catch them due to the time of the day, wherever you are, we have had brilliant crowds. The schools have been out. We've had thousands in the back straight. Most I've seen, I think, at the World Championships, the Paralympics Championships since, well, I mean, obviously, Rio, London, 2016, 2017. So Raymond control. So what's going, as a champion, as a long jump queen, what's going through his head right now then?
I think his expression after that jump said it all. He feels frustrated, and I would suspect he feels frustrated because he knows there's a bigger jump inside him, and when you can't get that jump out, that's what really gets under your skin, and you have to problem solve.
Trenton Merrill, here he comes, 5th round, 7:10 in the 4th. Ooh, that's a nice one. And it's a white flag as well. So he's only 2 centimeters behind Noah Baudelaire from Leverkusen with his currently official lifetime best before that Bremen performance gets ratified. Used the board really well.
And Merrill had to do a little bit of problem solving himself at the beginning, a little bit of foul trouble, but it does look like hopefully he sorted out that runway and now can just focus on jumping big.
Bronze in the Paralympic Games at 7:08. This is 7:25, and he goes into the bronze medal position. His previous World Championship medal was in the 4x1 relay in 2015 in Doha. Malakopoulos with that championship record in the T62 category. They're all in together here. Set the world record, by the way, a year ago in Bremen. Same meeting. 673 was his championship record before, 696 now. Can he break 7? Maybe. .723 is world record from a year ago. 723 would inch him very close to the top 3, but can he get a mark beyond 7 with that? 696 is already on. Well, red now.
Been given a red there, and I think we might just about be ready to go in the women's 1500 T20. Well, I'll tell you what.
Ooh, that's really tight.
That is.
Well, sometimes you have to see how
Needs
the
to go
foot
a bit more,
itself takes off. Sometimes if you freeze it on that still frame, it's actually a bit clearer if you run the video the full way through.
Oh, I'm not having that.
Can he bring that to VAR?
Do you know what? Actually, yes, you can.
That's why it's recorded, isn't it?
Yeah,
on,
you
Stylianides.
can request
Anyway.
to see it.
Yeah. Right, we're ready. The tension has built. Women's 1500 metres T20. Intellectual impairment category. And we are ready to go. Finally.
On your marks.
So Akano, the two Biaxis, Yona and Bernadette, Novska, Zajcek, De Silva Barrios, Yamamoto and Fujiwara in the women's 1500 metres T20 final. They are underway, and straight to the front goes the world record and championship record holder, the reigning world champion and Paralympic champion, Barbara Biagnowska Zajcek, out in front. And it is the Brazilian De Silva Barros, followed by Iona Biaxi. Thankfully, they're wearing nice big numbers on their shorts today, so it's quite easy to work out who is who. That always helps as they roll around into the home straight for the first time. And when they go across the finishing line, they'll have 3 laps to take of the track, 1,200 metres thereabouts remaining. And they head across the finishing line for the very first time. And Steph, just quickly, when that issue with the starting pistol, etc., went and they've been waiting for 5 or 10 minutes, how would that affect them?
Personally, I would find that quite off-putting. It's difficult. You have this race plan and you come out and you want to execute it, and then suddenly this thing happens that you're not expecting. But not only that, just the fact that it's a bit cold tonight. I'm cold and I'm sitting in 3 layers. They're wearing much less than I am, and so you just have to have that ability to really control your emotions, refocus on what matters, and that's this race and the plan that you came in with.
Yeah,
and it has gone off at quite a fast pace.
Yeah, you're right, though. It is a chilly evening this evening. It was a lovely day. There's no problem with that. It's just a very chilly evening, despite a little bit of cloud cover. You thought it might have been a little bit warmer, but as it is, we've got a group of 4 who have just left the rest slightly hanging off the back a little bit, and is Biagnowska Zajcek, who's just stayed in the lead the entire way, and Antonia De Silva Barros looked like she was going to make a move around the outside. The Biaxi twins are just behind there. Bernadette and Iona. Just dropping off Bernadette from the back there. Iona in the number 2 shorts is just staying on, but the twin is a few metres behind her, and at the moment it's the front 2 who are trying to open up a bit of a gap. Biagnowska Zajcek, she does like to lead from the front. It's rare that she's ever been beaten. She is a little bit like the Marcus Ream of women's distance running, T20 style. And she looks very, very strong at the moment, and she's been around for a very long time, going all the way back to Sydney 2000 when she won gold in the 800 metres. That is 24 years and counting for the Polish champion. And at the moment, it is a race in 2 because they have left the Biaxi twins behind them by about 17 metres back to Iona. And it is Biagnowska Zajcek and De Silva Barros as they head into the home straight. There's about 500 metres to go, and they, at the moment, look like it's going to be a race in 2.
Now, De Silva Barros has been tracking Biagnowska Zajcek quite well. They set off at quite a pace. A few of them tried to hang, and quickly they've dropped off. But hopefully, we're going to see a hot lap and a real rivalry forming here.
Well, the bell has gone, and off they've gone. It is a race in 2 with around 350 metres remaining. She has led the entire way so far. Barbara Biagnowska Zajcek. She's the world record and championship record holder. She's the world champion, and she's the Paralympic champion. And she leads at the moment by a couple of metres, and she's trying to stretch that out. And at the moment, De Silva Barros is just falling back somewhat as Barbara Biagnowska Zajcek, with 200 metres to go, she looks absolutely fantastic. She's gritting the teeth. She's put the margin out to around 15 metres at the moment, and she's making it bigger by the moment. The Biaxi twins have been left off the back. They're fighting for the bronze medal. It is Iona who's in 3rd place at the moment. but it is Barbara Bignovska-Zajac. She grimaces as she takes it down the straight. She has led from start to finish. She's the world and championship record holder. 4:28.58 is that championship record. I think she's going to beat it. She is a new championship record, 4:27.37. A brave race from De Silva Barros in the silver medal position. And it's going to be Iona Biaxi, who yet again at a major championships is going to pick up a silver medal ahead of her sister Bernadette, who comes in a couple of seconds further back. But a championship record for the winner. She led from start to finish. Barbara Bignovska-Zajac, formerly Novicial. De Silva Barros, she was brave in second place. She stuck with her all the way, chasing the pole, tracking her, but she couldn't get there. And in the end, as the Japanese athlete, the last of them, comes across the line to finish the race, it is Kako who goes across as the Polish wonderful middle distance athlete Barbara Bignovska-Zajac with a championship record that she's had set in Doha back in 2015. 9 years between drinks. But she holds it yet again, this time at a different track in East Asia.
Bignovska-Zajac clearly was not affected by the issues at the start. She had her race plan and she stuck with it, slowly just winding it up. And actually, when you were calling it a grimace, to me, it actually looked like a smile. And I remember a conversation I had with a sports psychologist once who told me to smile through the pain. It actually, your brain can't tell the difference whether or not you mean that smile.
That's a grimace.
Well, maybe she's trying to smile. I've actually seen it on a few middle distance runners. They use this technique. You're not buying it.
You're not kidding anyone here. You're not kidding anyone. That to me is a grimace. I've been there before myself in a different way. That is a grimace. Bottom
line, it worked, and she took the gold.
Yeah, she's a brilliant athlete. Absolutely fantastic. I love watching her race because she holds no prisoners. She doesn't wait, she just goes, and she makes everyone come with her, and she actually makes everyone else better athletes. Talking of people making better athletes, Marcus Rame, who's a season best at the top of this one, Darmaj is about to go.
27.36 seconds.
So Darmaj set to go. Marcus Rame, that first round attempt of 7.95. Fifth round attempt a few moments ago. Just waiting for Bartoszewic's final attempt to be put into the record books. He's not had a miss yet, but it's all about this man. He has a reason to smile now as well. So Darmaj ready to go.
His mark is 6.6 meters.
6.60 in the opening round, and he's not improved on it. 7th position for India. Bartoszewicz finishes actually with his best on 6.50, but he's an 8th. Didn't use the board at all, and pulled out of it very, very early.
Just a quick one on that Baudelaire, when we were talking about that before. The WPA has not approved that distance at the moment, even though it was a Paralympic standard. It has not been approved yet, so we're still waiting for ratification on that one.
These things take time.
Maybe just a note on the ratifications. Often we will see a difference between what we see it for Jason Smith, actually. His best is actually 10:22, but it's not listed, and it's just to do with the licensing of the different meets, and we just need to keep aware of it and keep two heads about it.
Well, that was against able-bodied athletes. It was in an IAAF competition, and actually he was the second fastest Irishman of all time behind Paul Hession for a very, very long time, and now Israel Olatunde is edged ahead, so Smith is now the third fastest Irishman ever.
He's a good dancer as well, I believe.
Is he? Ah.
Wasn't he on the TV show?
Not sure. Wasn't ice involved, I know that. Well, Rame, as you can see, is improved. locks it in with that America's record. He's much more chipper now after that 5th round attempt. Just try and get it on the cinescope for you shortly. Just developing it.
Are you saying he was worried?
Nah. I think it's more the result, more where he finishes than anything else. But here's Merrill, bronze medal position, 7:25. He's moved up a lot lately, and that could be even more. That's a monster. He's in the mood.
Well, he did say he was working on getting absolutely shredded. Maybe he really did mean it and he wasn't joking. But this is a perfect example of how you can use all 6 jumps to work your way to that big distance. He didn't have a great start. He had a few fouls and has just been building since then. He finished in 4th last time. He did not want to finish 4th again.
That protects his bronze medal. 7:35. Merrill is in 3rd. Might have hurt himself slightly, maybe not. Locks it in 2nd. USA 2, USA 3. And Baudelaire with that 7:12, which isn't the furthest he's gone, but as I was saying with Bidgosh, I think it was only the last 2 from Fleur Young that were the longest she'd ever jumped, but all 4 officially at the time on the day were world records. Which is why the first 2 were greeted so nonchalantly. Markopoulos. Currently in 6th spot, 6:96. There's no reset for the final round anymore. Hence why he's going. Merrill ahead of him going into this round. That might be out towards 7 meters. Nice little slide cut in the air. Decent landing.
Just listening again to the rhythm of his blades, you can see how he starts his run and the tempo just keeps picking up until he gets right to the board. You get these 2 really, really quick strides, and when you do that well in rhythm, that is when you start jumping those big totals. As I said, he has been training with Marcus Rem.
7:03, championship record for his category. The T62, double below.
I'm just interested in the equilibrium. If you had double blades or a single blade, is it more difficult as a jumper with a single blade or a double?
Well, I've never had double, so I'm not sure that I can quite answer that.
No, I know that. I'm asking your opinion of what you've heard from people and the words of what people might think.
I think there's an element of, if you're a double blade runner, you are automatically always balanced. Your legs match. If you have 2 human legs, they match. If you have 2 blades, they match. Whereas if you have 1 blade and 1 real leg, they don't match. But more on that after this jump.
Longo, last attempt as he tries to get up to the medals. He was 32 centimeters away and he stays there. Well worth taking a bow. He's had his joy in winning the 100 meters title here.
But I will just caveat that by saying I think it's incredibly difficult as a double-bladed jumper to set the jump up. We think about the takeoff, which is really important, but there's also the penultimate step, and that's where you really start to change from that speed into distance into the pit.
Now that's 7:49 for Baudelaire, who we just spoke about a moment ago. That one there, sorry. Yep, 6:75 hasn't improved. This man here, his lifetime best, 7:49. In Bremen on the 9th of May, the WPA, so the World Paralympics, it hasn't been approved yet. So in other words, it hasn't been ratified.
One day it will be, maybe. Baudelaire, 7:12 in round 3, having a whale of a time, needs 22 more. Oh, that might be it. It's tight, it's a white flag. Probably hasn't improved though, certainly not enough I would think to get into the medals for the 20-year-old.
Well, Trenton Merrill is looking on a little bit anxiously. Baudelaire could be the one to push him back off the podium, and just like what happened at the World Championships last year. The reason Trenton Merrill went so early in the order is because he did struggle in the first half of this competition.
and 6.95. Baudelaire finishes 4th, and Trenton Merrill gets the bronze. 2 to go. Derek locks it out with that America's record of 7.69 and 7.67, by the way, in the 5th round. While we're watching the women's T20 final. Marcus Rame is ready. Maybe for something big in the final round. He did that in Berlin, remember, at the Europeans 6 years ago. So locks it in. Target will be for another medal. He has that. Silver in the high jump, silver in the long jump. Can he get another record? It's got out towards 8. It was tight on the board. It's a white flag. So is that his best of the night?
Loxodon has been having the meet of his life. He started out with a huge personal best in the high jump. I think by 13 centimeters, if I remember. He had a personal best again in the javelin, and he has already set an American record in this long jump.
7.62, close to it, but he did not get it.
Now, in between rounds 4 and rounds 5, I was watching Marcus Rem to see what he was going to do, and he wandered over to his mark, and he measured a foot in front of it, and he moved his marker up by one of his human feet. And that's what led to that jump of 8.30, smack on the board. So he'll go into this final jump knowing his runway is set, and he really can just go for it. Every time he competes, he wants to put a show on for the crowd.
Well, this is the time to do it. The cameras are ready. Although the photographers are not going to be very happy with what develops, I would think. Go on. Yeah, well done. You might need this photo. It might be valuable. Championship record is 8.40. Rame has hit 8.30. The 7th world title is in the bag. His 10th global long jump gold. Marcus Rame went way out. It's a white flag, and he has done all that he can do.
What I absolutely love about this performance is the way he had to work through it. It didn't go all his way at the beginning, and champions aren't people who get it right every single time. They're the ones that can work through anything.
8.23 to wrap up. He wins on 8.30. He wins by over half a meter. Well, he owns Newfoundland. Steffi Neris among those applauding his coach, his long-term coach, his brilliant coach. Locks it up, the silver. Merrill, the bronze for the United States. Marcus Rame continues to earn new fans in every corner of the world, and he is now a 7-time long jump world champion. His last 2 attempts were the longest. Maybe a bit concerned he was earlier that he wasn't quite hitting the legs, but then got beyond 8, got close to his championship record from Doha, which still stands from 9 years ago. And he's done it here in front of a brilliant atmosphere. Remember, it was a real carnival atmosphere in Berlin at the Frederick Ludwig Jahn Sport Park.
Get the camera! Get the camera! Go out with the flags. On 3. Guys.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
I think they want you to jump.
Ice cream. Okay. Ice cream. You scream.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Or yell. Of course to yell. Rame took it again. 5 European, 7 world, 3 Paralympic crowns. A couple of other medals in terms of relays and the odd sprint in his time. L'Occident. Silver in the high jump, silver in the long jump, bronze in the 1. And Merrill with his first world medal. So Marcus Rame here in the 5th round. 7.95 in the opening round. Not quite into the heights, but that's certainly doing it. That getting the crowd excised. Well launched through. And finally got beyond the 8 meters, what he wanted to do all night. 8 meters 30. Marcus Rame gets his 7th world title. And it's 10 centimeters off his championship record. Done it again.
Yes, yes, finally. My first medal at World Champs. Let's go. Let's go. Ah, man.
Derek locks it out with the America's record in 2nd. He was in the squad, certainly, Merrill, in the relay in 2015, but in terms of the long jump, his first world.
Wait.
Just a bit of news just in as well. There's been an appeal to the jury about yesterday's men's shot put F32 final.
Algeria.
So there has been an appeal put in there. There was 2 of the Algerians and also one from Oman who had no mark given to them across their 6 throws. So there has been an appeal. Alexei Churkin has won that one. That had been changed around. Konstantinidis picked up the silver, and also from Greece, Zidis was given the bronze medal. So there has been an appeal to the jury in that. Hopefully more information on that one tomorrow morning.
He's a brilliant champion, Marcus Rame, and he can just keep going on and on. He's still very much at his peak, and of course there's Paris and the Stade de France on the way. Will it be we towards the end of August? He's won the last 3 Paralympic titles.
Tricky. They're all the same. Guys, can you have us one with
See, everybody wants to get a photo with him. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Noah Baudelaire in a really good competition to get 4th spot, and it's worth pointing out Baudelaire is only 20. Like, you think of what Marcus Rame was doing in 2008, 2009 direction.
And the thing is, he's just so popular as a champion. And if you're watching him in between the jumps, even in the early stages of the competition, when he was frustrated with his own jumping, he was still there clapping for the other athletes who were doing well, genuinely pleased for them.
Now, I can tell you that Will Downing and I are fans of Marcus Rame as well. We've got pictures I can show you of us back in 2018 in Berlin.
Years and years.
Men's club throw F51, the winner, Zelko Dimitrievich, a championship record of 34.20 for him. Always a big name in this event. He won gold for the last 3 World Championships before this. He's won a double Paralympic gold as well. And he has 3 European Championships. Does the man from Serbia, who set a new championship record, breaking his own mark. That mark set in Dubai back in 2019. It came in his 5th attempt of 34.20. So his own mark he set 5 years ago, he's broken that. And he looks pretty calm. Surma of India, who's now the last to throw in this competition. These are live pictures at the moment. It got underway at 5 minutes past 5 local time. And it's coming to a conclusion. It's now heading up towards 5 to 8 local time here in Kobe. That's why the seeded events do get started earlier in the competition. There were 9 going in this. Now that first up throw there for Surma of India, 31.62. So it puts him into 6th place at the moment. The Asian Para Games champion. And that one there is over the 30-metre mark as well. His lifetime best is 34.99. He took gold in the Serbia Open last year as well. in the home of Dimitrovic, who is up in that gold medal position at the moment. Highly unlikely he's going to be caught. It would take something remarkable from Pradav Surma to bring him down. 31.62 with his first, no improvement. 31.40 with that one there, so he stays in 6th position. Now, 5th for Gravac of Serbia is only 11 centimetres further, but he seems to be hitting a very similar mark each time. Now, Darren Beer, his compatriot who won a silver at the Asian Para Games, and Surma as well. They both got congratulations from the Indian Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. Quite rightly as well. So he gets a little break now. He can readjust himself, and Ramos Hernandez in 2nd position at the moment. Yeah. You are a big, big man. A decent throw. Silver medal position at the moment. That man there, well, he's just waiting, isn't he? He's got the flag ready. I think he realises that it'll be a gold medal for Serbia. And there is going to be our bronze medalist as it stands, Darren Beer, who's in the bronze medal position with a new Asian record of 33.61. It's the waiting, isn't it? Knowing that you're more than likely going to be the gold medalist, but you've just got to wait for Surma to finish and hope that nothing remarkable comes from it. And that is over the 30-metre mark by quite some distance, that one there. Well, he is saving his best till last, as the song goes. Well, I'm very interested to see what that comes in at. .10, so that puts him up into 4th position. Now he's only 51 centimetres behind his compatriot, and that one's around the same mark. 50 centimetres to make up. This is tight. Darren Beers set the Asian record of 33.61. Surma is 33.10. This is 5th attempt. Oh, it's getting tetchy now, isn't it? 33.04, so he doesn't improve. He's got one effort left if he wants to get up into the medal positions. And that won't be enough. It's a red flag. It goes out of the quadrant. So we have our top 3 guaranteed. That is the end of the competition, and it is Serbia through Zeljko Dimitrovic, who claims the gold medal. Yet again, we said that many, many times. Gravac went into this as the reigning champion, but there's your 2nd place man from Mexico, Mario Ramos Hernandez. But there's the winner, Zeljko Dimitrovic. It's a 4th world title for him. And there's the bronze medalist from India, Darren Beer, just seeing off his compatriot Surma. Darren Beer was silver at those Asian Para Games. Surma took the gold, but this time their positions have been reversed. It's a bronze medal that went up for grabs. But it is India who take it. Serbia with the gold, Mexico with the silver, and India with the bronze. Men's club throw F51. There is your world champion in a championship record of 34.20. Mario Ramos Hernandez of Mexico, season best 33.62 for the silver. He took silver as well last year in Paris. So 2 in a row for the Mexican. And here comes your bronze medalist, Darren Beer, an Asian record for him. 33.61 at the World Para-Athletics Championships, and I suspect he may be getting another call from the Indian Prime Minister Modi. The guide's fully deserving of the action as well. Chilly enough evening, but they'll be warm to the heart with the fact that they've all picked up medals. India with the bronze, Mexico with the silver, and Serbia with the gold.
Women's shot put at 46, won again by Noelle Malkamaki, 13 meters 12. Holly Robinson, the silver for New Zealand, 12.25. Saskia Sokolov down in 10th this time. So, Saito Yukiko of Japan getting this out very early on to 11 meters 72. Bronze in the shot last year and bronze again here. The host tally increases again. What a large amount of medals to date. There's another one. Now, Holly Robinson won silver in the shot last year. She's only in the shot here. She's gone out to an Oceania record here. She won't be in the javelin this time due to a slight calf injury. Nothing much to worry about, though. She loves picking up medals. It is a 6th consecutive World Championship where Holly Robinson is on the podium for New Zealand. 12.25, a new Oceania record. 12.17 it was previously. And Robinson well on the mark with Paris to come. On the double at the Stade de France. Noelle Malkamaki, the defending shot put world champion, going out to 13 meters 12, 20 centimeters off her world record from Paris in the Stade Charlotte last year. There was a big one in her tonight, and Malkamaki has done it again.
Came off the back of my hand.
Could have been further maybe, but she is again the world champion.
Cheese!
They've got a chance to do that again in Paris. The grand fromage tonight, Noelle Malkamaki, 13 meters 12 for the United States. Holly Robinson, silver, New Zealand, 12.25. And Yukiko Saito, the bronze for Japan.
Women's shot put F32, a championship record for Brito Oliveira. After taking silver last year, she's won gold in the club throw here, and she's won gold also in the shot put. Abrami took 3rd place. Won gold back in 2017. Won silver in the club throw. She was the Paralympic champion back in 2016 Galactianova, a season best for her. And she takes the silver. She's the European champion. She won bronze back in 2020 in Tokyo. And she has a season best 697 and a silver medal in the women's shot put F32. Brito Oliveira, though, championship record of 774. And she adds to the gold she picked up in the club throw as well. She's done the double. What a championship she's had. Gold in the club throw and gold in the shot put. That is big. Breaking Moskalenko's record of 692 that was set in Dubai in 2019. There is a new championship record holder and a new champion. Juana Brito Oliveira, championship record, takes gold. Galactianova, silver with a season best. And Abrami takes the bronze. Men's club throw F51, championship record for Zelko Dimitrovic. Ramos Hernandez with his silver, and Darren Beer, a new Asian record, seeing off his teammate to take the bronze. Darren Beer with the Asian record 33.61. It was very tight for the third and fourth position. Second position, again, goes to Ramos Hernandez of Mexico. He took that last year in Paris, and he's taken it again, this time in Kobe, in Japan. Season best mark of 33.62. But this man here, he had the championship record he set 5 years ago in Dubai. He's 3 times a world champion before this one. Make that 4 now. He's twice won the Paralympic title back in 2012 in London and Rio in 2016. And he builds towards Paris in 2024, later this year.
Hey, don't film me.
Happy scenes all around. Serbia take the gold. Mexico with the silver, and it's India with the bronze. Dimitric, championship record 34.20. Ramos Hernandez, season best in second, and Darren Beer, Asian record 33.61 for the bronze medal. Well, it's been another fine day with the moon beaming down on us from up there. You feel you could touch out and reach it there.
Marcus Rem almost did, 8:30, 10 centimetres away from his championship record gold for Germany in the men's long jump T64. Derek Loxton, Trenton Merrill, second and third for the United States. This was in the last round for Merrill. There he is. Striding forward, trying to protect his bronze medal, and it is his first World Championships bronze. Something that's given him a tremendous amount of delight that he can bring back with him to California. Derek Loxton, new America's record coming here. Going all the way out to 769, and at one stage was only 26 centimetres away from our leader. Less than a school ruler away.
Let's keep building. Keep building. Good.
Excellent result for Derek Loxodale. But there is only one Marcus Ray. 4 attempts below 8 meters, and his last 2 beyond. 5th round attempt. Going out to 8 meters 30. That's what he wanted to do all night. His final 2 efforts. He will feel a lot more like what he's capable of on a chilly night like this in Japan. That's absolute poetry. 8 minutes 30. And Marcus Rain does it again. A 7th World Championship title for Marcus Rain. A 10th global one. He's looking for number 11 in Paris. And to go even further than this. Loxodale and Merrill 2nd and 3rd for the United States. Noah Baudelaire 4th for Germany. And a championship record for Malakopoulos in his own category of 62 for Greece. Great night on the track as well. Putri, Simran disqualified in this. Putri with victory in the women's 100 minutes T12 in the opening heats.
In the second one, it was Dela Cruz Severino who qualified. Gomez de Agua, the lucky loser, going through to the final.
And Chen Yakin going through also 12:65. So Dela Cruz, the fastest, 12:51. Lorraine Gomez did make it through as the fastest loser, 12:57 for Brazil. Shen and Putri will be awaiting as well.
Well, on the track at the end, it was a championship record for Barbara Biagnoska-Zajac. The silver barrels for the season best in the silver. And Iona Biaxi beating home her sister, her twin Bernadette, in a season best to take the bronze medal yet again. Well, it's been a lovely evening, and Will Downing is going to take you through the medal table.
Yeah, China taking gold and silver, men's 1500 through Jinhua Dailukin, 18 golds for them, 48 medals. Brazil, 17 golds. Algeria will be looking to get a 4th medal back. Fleur Young with 2 golds for Uzbekistan. Morocco getting a good one tonight as well through Sadni Ayoub. Another one for Turkey for Gondwan tonight. Belgium through Karabakh in the T52. Cuba, Georgia, Italy, Saudi Arabia, UAE with a gold each. That coming tonight. Japan with 13 medals, earning one tonight. New Zealand on the board through Aitchison and Robinson. Norway with 2 bronzes, Kashafali and Sverd. Thailand with their one through Kongen, who pounced in the T54. Lovely evening for it. Sayonara from me.
And me, Tolson Tollett.
And from me, Steph Reed.
And we'll leave you with those nice colours down the wheel. Beautiful scenes in Kobe. We'll see you tomorrow. There are 22 medals on offer on day 7. We look forward to your company then. Beautiful city. Good night.
Run it up.